Bucs Radio on the call as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to the Super Bowl. Guys,
slaughter.
I got to tell you something. I said this in the 6 o'clock hour to start things off. I felt like I was just in the Playboy Mansion of sports this weekend. Everywhere I looked, I was like, ooh, this is interesting. Ooh, that's fun. Let's watch this. It started with the doubleheader Friday night, both the Avs and the Nuggets on. Saturday, the Nuggets were back. I bought the McGregor fight on Saturday, which was great. Then you had the championship games on Sunday. I was all in, baby.
That was one of the best sports weekends we've had since when?
Since last March.
Yeah. You're right. That is the best sports weekend we experienced since COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Since COVID struck. Do you agree, Mark Moser?
I would completely agree. It was a terrific sports weekend. We deserve it because we've been so patient with COVID this entire time. That's the way I like to present myself. Been patient.
By the way, guys, I spilled the beans. It was an accident. I was telling people we have this big announcement tomorrow, and I already told them, so I guess I'll just say it now. Aaron Rodgers is retiring from the NFL. He's joining our show as a co-host. I was supposed to wait. I know that people are going to be really mad at me for doing this. I'm sorry, KSC. It's just I spilled the beans.
You see what's happening now in the NFL, right? You see what's happening in the National Football League. The dominoes are going. Mm-hmm. Now, every team that doesn't go where it wants to go, that doesn't achieve the ultimate dream, every team is going to have to face this now. Uh-oh. He's going to be mad. He's going to want to leave. Now what?
I will say it's a little bit different. And by the way, I wasn't kidding, by the way, guys. We do have a big announcement tomorrow that we will tell you. But going off of that, Vic, like you're referencing, well, let's just listen to salty Aaron Rodgers after the game because Matt LaFleur decided down 8 with 2 minutes left to go on 4th and 8 from the goal line. It's a better idea to kick the field goal to go down 5 and give the ball back to Tom Brady than it is to let Aaron Rodgers do his thing. Just listen to Rodgers' response.
Aaron, did you agree with the decision to kick it there on 4th down?
Well, I didn't have a decision on that one. Yeah, that wasn't my decision, but I understand the thinking above 2 minutes with all of our time.
No. I understand the thinking, blah, blah, blah. That is all code. The silence said everything you needed to know. Everything.
I knew this was going to happen today. I knew everyone was going to put this on the floor. I was ready. I am armed. I am equipped. I am going to defend the Packers and their decision-making, and I'm going to put it all on the man who just... I'm going to put it on Rodgers.
Well, you better be Johnny Cochran about this because it's going to take a lot to convince me.
Well, you know what? He had his opportunities.
That loss is on Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is the reason, and that's why I think it took him time to answer that question. You can blame LaFleur. You can say what you want. Aaron Rodgers had a chance to win the game, and he couldn't.
You done messed up, Aaron. You had an opportunity. Vic is right. Why didn't he put it upon himself? Or maybe I didn't hear that part where he said, you know what? God, I had all kinds of real estate in front of me on 3rd down. I could have ran for it, and I could have got the touchdown maybe easily. Yet I elected to try to throw it into double coverage on the goal line. Why didn't he say that, Brett?
I'm sure he did acknowledge that, but I think he also
later did.
He also wanted to. I think he also, if he had his choice of being honest in that moment, can you trust me from 4th and 8 instead of trusting the defense against Tom Brady, please? Like that's what's coming out right there.
There's no doubt. Hey, listen. Ultimately, they should have given the ball back to him on 4th down. But if he does what he's supposed to do on 3rd down and maybe turn it into a 4th and 3 at the worst, a 4th and 3. Give you an understanding that it's closer to the goal line, that's on him. I have no idea what he was thinking there. He's running toward the goal line. Everyone's covered. It was clear everyone's covered. He throws across his body, the old Mark Moser special, right, which you're not supposed to do. He throws it backwards, essentially. I mean, it was a dumb play. Let's just speak the truth here.
But I always made it work. I always made the completion.
Was that not an ill-advised play on his part? Yes or no?
It absolutely was, because he could have run to the cone or the pylon, whatever you want to call it. I mean, he could have run. Even if they come flying out of the end zone to get him, you got 4th and real short, 4th and 1, 4th and 2, 4th and 3 at the longest.
But
at the longest.
But going back to this, Vic, you think that this is the start of the NFL gearing towards the NBA sort of thing where guy gets unhappy after loss and he wants out?
Are you kidding me? I mean, look at what's happening just this offseason. The first time I've ever seen anything like this. There's a quarterback in Houston who's a franchise quarterback who refuses to play there. There's a quarterback in Detroit who is not a franchise quarterback. He's a good quarterback, and we'll get to that later, who's already established he's gone, and they're going to let him go. There's a quarterback now in Green Bay who is the MVP of the league, who's put up astronomical numbers, and now after the game, all the speculation is, wow, is Aaron Rodgers leaving Green Bay? If I'm the Packers, I do everything I can today, tomorrow, as fast as possible to acquiesce, to make sure that whatever rumors are out there are squashed immediately. You do not want this to fester. As we watch it on our Twitch feed, Twitch TV, you can find our show. We see Marty O, the perfect illustration of all the real estate available to Aaron Rodgers on that third down play. It was ridiculous. You say what you want about not going for it on fourth down. That is a horrible decision by one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game.
And you know what? You're right. It is a horrible decision. He should have ran it, and at the same time, LaFleur should have given him another shot at 4th and 8.
You're right. They're both wrong. You know what? My last thing. They should have both been on the same page. LaFleur, at some point, should have told Aaron Rodgers, hey, this isn't necessarily 4-down territory, by the way. He should have known that. They should have had that knowledge, both of them, in the back of his head. Because maybe if he knew that, he runs instead of throws there.
Maybe he does, Vic. I mean, perhaps he does. Again, it's pretty damn amazing to me that Tom Brady and company went to Lambeau, that it stopped snowing for him just in time, even though that doesn't necessarily bother him, and they put up 31 points against the Green Bay Packers to go to the Super Bowl. That's a huge story today. Yeah. And I was thinking about this, too. If Rodgers does, in fact, leave, and we all know about Stafford, Watson, now Wentz, who's the least appealing of all those, but if we ever had more elite, even aged quarterbacks flood the market like this before?
No.
Have we ever had that happen? Ever?
No, this is unprecedented, especially those under contract. And that's the difference, Moj. We may have had a quarterback or two that's become a free agent, but Aaron Rodgers has 2 years left on his deal. Stafford has 2 years left on his deal. Deshaun Watson has years left on his deal. We've never seen anything like this before. And we're going to a place that I'm not sure if that's going to be healthy for the league. I just don't think so.
It might not. It might not be because I don't want to get into these musical chairs with big time number ones. But Brett, I guarantee you, if all those guys are available, they will find homes so easily. Every other team that even remotely needs a guy in this league will line up to make the deal.
Yeah, but listen,
there are going to be so many picks and players exchanging hands before the draft or even before that, you can't even believe it.
I don't know. Here's, just to be fair, I don't know what Watson wants. Watson really hasn't said he wants to be traded. He's just said he's very, very unhappy. And I don't know what the end game is for him. The Stafford thing was mutual. Stafford, if Detroit wanted him there, Stafford would still be there. But I think Detroit is just like, screw it, dude. Let's go 2-14 next year and totally restart. And then the Rodgers thing, who knows how real that stuff is either. But I understand your point, Vic. If we get to this era in football now where a quarterback gets mad and they get traded with years left on their deal, that's a really dangerous spot to be.
Well, then you're in the NBA.
Yeah.
You're in the NBA now. You're exactly what the NBA is today. And what do we complain about in the NBA when superstars get their way?
Well, we actually what we do is, you're right, Vic. We complain about
unfair. Yeah.
Right. We complain about monster teams and stacked teams. We don't. And we do complain about guys forcing their way out when they should be staying with the team because they just signed the contract. Speaking of Deshaun Watson, and he is just so enticing. The mayor's involved. You remember the mayor of Houston?
I saw that.
Mr. Sylvester Turner?
Oh, yeah, you remember that, Marty. Go ahead. Give us the audio. Yeah. That was his advice when COVID first hit. He just told everybody, just go ahead, relax, and
don't go outside.
There we go.
Everybody just chill out. Well, I was reading his comments trying to keep Watson in Houston. Did you read those?
Oh, yeah.
He says, I pray that we move forward together. He goes on to say, I know he loves this city because I've seen how much he's given of himself and his treasure to the people in this city. Turner then goes on to tweet, quote, I am humbled to be his mayor.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh
Okay,
my God. Hey, dude.
Speaking
dude,
of chill, hey,
dude,
buddy,
hold on.
chill.
Dude, you
Yeah,
got a
let's
lot
chill.
of constituents, dude. Hey, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, you got a lot of constituents.
Mayor,
Not
you've
just a
reversed a
star
policy
quarterback.
on taxes within the city that hasn't existed for 20 years. Why? Deshaun Watson suggested it, and we're trying to do everything we can.
If that's the reaction to Deshaun Watson, imagine the reaction in Green Bay. That mayor, heck, I'll drive you to work, Aaron Rodgers. I'll do whatever you want.
The mayor of Green Bay is going to be sacrificing. He's going to sacrifice something.
Let me put something to bed right now, and I pray to God this ends up on one of our emojis for worst predictions.
He's not moving. I agree with you.
Heed my words. Listen, if they did move on from Aaron Rodgers, and I get the guy on the text line who says, well, they did this last time when they had Brett Favre and it worked. I can guarantee you one thing. Jordan Love is not going to be as good as Aaron Rodgers, okay?
No, he's not.
You do not get this lucky 3 times in a row. Does
He's
not happen.
There's a reason he was third on the depth chart this year. And you could say whatever you please on that, okay? Here's the deal. Of the quarterbacks that suddenly are made available, we know one is. Deshaun Watson is made available. We know 2. We know Matt Stafford is now made available. And we're going to go deep on Matt Stafford in this show because we happen to have a Matt Stafford certified expert.
There is
that
nothing
one of
in
our
this
co-hosts
town
here.
that I am more of an expert on than Matthew Stafford football.
Yes. So I'll say this. I'm going to leave it at this before we go down and dirty on these quarterbacks and their availabilities.
Oh, hold on a second. Hold on. Are you telling me we're going to get dirty today?
We're going to get down and dirty.
Hold on.
We're going to get
I
down.
like it.
We're
I
going to
like
get dirty.
getting- Oh, I like getting dirty.
Yes. We're going to get into quarterback dirt talk.
I like getting down.
Yeah, we are.
And I like getting dirty. And when you combine down and dirty, it's on. It
Yes,
is
sir.
on.
Right, not the time or place, Michael.
Okay, here's what I say. Here's what I come down to. I would say there are no less than 16 teams in the NFL who are vastly interested in Matthew Stafford. 16. I'm going to move that number for Deshaun Watson to 20 teams. And then if you put Aaron Rodgers in the mix, 16 to 20 for those two, Aaron Rodgers, there would be, in my opinion, 28 teams available to recruit Aaron Rodgers.
28?
Oh, yes.
Let's not get too crazy.
I'll prove it to you. We'll talk. He is he's top 2 quarterback in the NFL.
Okay.
That means there are only 4 teams
but
that
those
would be
teams have
not
to be-
interested in moving on.
Save it, Moj. Save it, Moj.
you're-
We'll get it when we come back.
All right, well, then I'm going to get dirty, Brett.
Yes.
You get down and dirty with me.
You're getting
All right.
down and dirty.
All right.
This is the Down and Dirty Show with Vic, Moj, and Brett. We're back in 3 minutes.
dirty. You know, record low interest rates make monthly housing payments more affordable. And I know that sounds like a lot, it's a mouthful, but it's incredibly important because it means the house you are living in right now, the one right now, can cost you less. You just have to call American Financing. Take advantage of a free mortgage review. There's no pressure. No obligation, no upfront fees, none of that. Just a simple conversation about which loan program may be a better fit for you than the one you have right now, because rates are near historic lows and chances are that you can benefit. It could mean up to $1,000 in monthly savings plus tens of thousands in long-term savings. Don't worry, these are the best people. They are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. And the best part about it, you may be able to postpone 2 mortgage payments, but do it soon because these rates aren't going to stay this low forever. I can promise you that. Give my friends at American Financing a call today at 303-695-7000. You got it. 303-695-7000 or go online at AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
All right, you guys ready to get dirty? Bring a sponge. Marty, can I get some bathtub music, please? I want some bathtub music because we're getting down and dirty. We got to stay
hell is
clean.
bathtub music?
Just YouTube bathtub music and see what comes up. Let's just see, rub-a-dub-dub in the tub, something like that. Give me some music there.
Splash, I was taking a bath.
There you go. See, that's
on about a set. That's Bobby Darin, Martin, in case you need some help there.
So we're looking for something like that. Just stay quiet and find the music, please. All right, Vic, you wanted to get down and dirty with quarterbacks. Where do you want to start?
Well, let's start with the top. Let's start with the least approachable in terms of the Broncos. The person that we know it's not going to happen. All right. Aaron Rodgers is not coming to Denver. Aaron Rodgers is not leaving Green Bay. I want you to take Aaron Rodgers' name out of your mouth. Take this soap right here. Wash your mouth. Wash it right now. Take it out of your mouth. He's not coming here.
This sounds like baby making music, not exactly bathtub.
Dude, it sounds like
music.
we're getting down.
This is
sounds like
labeled
Ghost in a bathtub.
a mix to help you sink into the bubbles.
That's perfect.
It's
All right, so that's dirty. That's down and that's dirty. What are the chances Aaron Rodgers somehow gets extracted from Green Bay? This guy's going to be the MVP. That's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
We all agree, correct?
Yes.
Dude, they already torqued him off once, man. He was so mad about Jordan Love. And he's like, all right, let's... And again, he single-handedly willed his team to the number 1 seed in the NFC. Yeah.
Moj, keep going. Don't get distracted. We're getting down and dirty.
All right, that's number 1.
Okay.
So get that out. Get it out of
Aaron ain't happening.
All right. Deshaun Watson, as many trade scenarios as we pose for the Houston Texans, and we keep posing them, right? We keep offering trade scenarios. There are, I believe, 8 to 10 teams that would move to the front of the line in front of the Broncos to get Deshaun Watson.
Very well could.
Yeah, I mean, there's the hurdles are, first of all, he has a no-trade clause, so he doesn't have to go anywhere. Second of all, the teams that are vying for his services have way more assets than you do.
Yes. So the most approachable of those quarterbacks on the market right now, starting quarterbacks with time left on their contract, and we happen to have the certified expert on his play.
And the only guy we know that actually is going to be moved, for sure.
Exactly right. He's already gotten the assurance from his franchise. He spoke to the owner. He's good to go. Matthew Stafford. How do we make this happen? I'm reading Peter King's column this morning. And King seems to think that the Broncos, they're number 2, by the way, on his list. Indy's number 1 for Matt Stafford. The Broncos are number 2. Destination points. He thinks the Broncos can get Matt Stafford, get this, for number 9 or for Drew Lock and a number 2.
Dude, I don't know if the lock thing's going to happen, but I said this in the 6 o'clock hour. People thought I was nuts. I said, Marty, you thought I was nuts. I said, I think a number 9 pick could do it. I really do.
No doubt about it.
It's for this reason. The other options Detroit has is trading him to a place like Indy, but where's Indy picking in the draft? They're in the 20s.
Yeah.
So think about what it would take for Indy to trade up to number 9. The assets it would take for you to move up that high in the draft. That number 9 pick is valuable. Detroit already has number 7. They could package those 2 picks and move up to 3 with Miami if they want to and take a Zach Wilson. That would give them a lot of flexibility. I don't think it would take all that much. And if I'm Denver, a number 9 pick to get that dude to put you immediately in playoff contention, I'm doing it.
And all these quarterbacks that are suddenly on the market, right? These franchise-type quarterbacks, I tell you what, Matt Stafford's the one that gets my stinger up because I think he's the most attainable. I don't even want to talk about Aaron Rodgers. It's an insult. It's an insult to the game if you bring up Aaron Rodgers on the show today. And anybody who does, tell them to shut up. It's not happening.
By the way,
if you listen to this radio station today and somebody says Aaron Rodgers to Denver, I want you to pretend that person doesn't exist.
By the way, look at his contract. He would be paid less than Von Miller. That's what's
You're
left
talking about Matt Stafford.
Stafford's deal. He's getting paid $20 million next year, and he's got $23 the final year of his contract. That's it.
Oh, yeah. It's largely attainable. I'm telling you, this can happen. Here's the question I have for you two, though, because there are 2 methods to this madness. You can get him from the number 9 pick. I think we all know that. Number 9 is going to be valuable enough. Would you rather do that, or would you rather give him Locke and the number 2? I would rather do the latter.
Well, yeah, of course. If you're bringing Stafford in, Locke isn't playing anyway. So
what's the point of having him here?
Yeah, so it's like you're just trading him for a second-round pick. Of course, that's what you would prefer if you're Denver. I don't think Detroit would bite on that. I don't think that they would. It'd be really hard to sell the fan base. We're trading away the best quarterback this franchise has ever seen for a quarterback that the other team didn't want. That's a tough sell.
And at some point, you're going to have to tell the fan base, oh, yeah, he was ranked as the worst-rated quarterback in the National Football League, starting quarterback. Go ahead, Moshe.
Can I get dirty, please?
Yes, please.
I want to get dirty. Martin?
This splash, I was taking a bath.
Yeah, let's do it. Saturday night. Let me explain something to you. I would do the latter as well, Vic. I would try to hang on to my first-round pick as much as possible because it's a valuable asset. If you're talking about the attainability, here's my only worry. I have a feeling that other teams who are closer to a postseason that didn't finish 5-11, I have a feeling that some of those, there are teams right now, and we know that he's available, there are other teams that you wouldn't think are going to be in the mix that are going to jump in the mix, like the LA Rams, right? Put it this way. The biggest domino, of course, is Aaron Rodgers. And there are probably only a handful of teams that can afford him or have the assets to really pry him out and are close to winning, and he can put him over the top. Then comes, but Deshaun Watson, of course, is the long-term answer, and that's a boatload of assets. But let's say those guys are either unattainable or it's done. Then everybody else gets in on Stafford because all these teams think that they can be there, including Miami, who just drafted Tua, including New Orleans Saints, who are looking for a quarterback, right? Including Carolina, including the Jets, probably the New York Giants, the New England Patriots. All these teams are going to make a phone call and at least talk about a package. So then you're talking about, well, number 9 would pry him away. I don't know about that. You got to start adding on. You got to start putting more into the kitty in order to get him out of Detroit.
Though, Moshe. This is what it comes down to for me. The only team that you mentioned in that mix is Carolina that has a better draft pick than Denver does. That's it.
Do they need a quarterback?
Well, they just paid Teddy Bridgewater. They're paying him like $25 million a year. That'd be a lot of money to have thrown in with 2 guys at one position. I don't know if they would be willing to pull the trigger on that and have both of those guys there.
And by the way, if Houston lets Deshaun Watson go, they're going to need a guy.
I want to make something clear, though. Like, I'm looking at the text line. I've been dealing with this all morning, just bringing up this idea. And I knew that there's going to be people who say this. The people who say, Stafford, what has he ever done? What has he ever won? That kind of stuff. Okay, fine. But here's the deal, though, Vic. I can't even debate with you. If that's the way that you think about this, there's nothing I'm going to say that's going to change your mind.
Exactly right. And to those people, I would say this. I would counter by saying this. With the number 9 overall pick, will you get any human being in the draft that is going to make an impact right away, more of an impact than Matt Stafford?
Not even close.
Okay, well then why are we playing this game? Why is it an argument? Is
top
anyone coming in at number 9, even quarterbacks? Is there a quarterback at number 9 that in the first 2 years of his career that will impact the team like Matt Stafford?
Not
you know
even
the
close.
answer to that question. Come on. Then don't play this game.
Here's the other part, though, and this is what I want people to know. Stafford ain't Rodgers. Stafford ain't Brady. Stafford, he's not that guy. But Stafford is a dude. If he was here tomorrow, I'm telling you, I think Denver's a playoff team.
You will be better.
I think this team is good enough with the pieces around it going into next year. Let me put it to you this way. What's the number? Just take any quarterback. Let's say it's Drew Lock. What are the numbers that Drew Lock would need to make this team a playoff team?
Reverse of what he had this year.
Well, I would say this. If I told you 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 10 picks, would that do it?
Yeah,
sure.
I think it would get him in.
Stafford does it every year.
Yeah,
exactly.
Every year.
Now, he doesn't win playoff games.
Well, and that's where, again, when I'm going back to this, think about this. Stafford has started 165 games in his career. He's had a 100-yard rusher in 11 of them. Yeah. That's the incompetence of the organization that he's played for. And that's something you have to keep in mind.
Well, you could make excuses for everybody, all right? But the bottom line is just use your eyes. I don't care about the analytics. I don't care about the numbers. Use your eyes. Would Matt Stafford at the quarterback position make the Denver Broncos a better team? Yes or no? Use your eyeballs.
Vic, my eyeballs say yes. My heart says yes. My brain says yes. Everything to me says yes. And it begs the question before we get to break. What if you miss on everything? I mean, we're talking about all this. What if you
just run it back next year? How hollow that's going to feel?
Yeah. What if you miss on everybody?
They very well could.
By the way, if Rodgers stays and for some godforsaken reason Watson stays, everybody's going to be in on Matt Stafford. Everybody except Russell Wilson and Arizona. Guys who have these. Everybody else is going to be in on him.
We are beholden to Denver and what we need in Denver. You don't think the San Francisco 49ers are formulating? You don't think they're hatching a plan right now?
Oh, my Lord almighty.
You don't think there are teams ready-made? What the 49ers could sell to Detroit is, hey, man, take what you want. We are ready-made. We went to the Super Bowl last year. We had all those injuries. We're ready to go.
They're like this. Hey, you like the Golden Gate Bridge? It's pretty nice, huh?
What do you want?
What, you want some Golden Gate? Well, I'll tell you what. Golden Gate, all the tolls, they're yours.
And they can offer Jimmy G. If you're Detroit, do you take Jimmy G or Drew Lock?
Jimmy G.
Well,
he's already been to a damn Super Bowl.
I mean, I would say no to both, but if I had to choose, then it's Jimmy.
Well, hold on a second. Just Friday, the talk of Jimmy G coming to Denver, you about wet yourself.
No.
And now
you didn't listen to me. I said I would love it for the jawline and the beard stubble. I wouldn't like it football wise.
Well, you wet yourself, and now you're saying I don't want that for my Lions. Oh, it's good. It's good enough for the Broncos, but he ain't good enough for your Lions.
If you told me Brad Pitt was going to be the quarterback of the Broncos, I'd have the same response as I did to Jimmy G. I think the football is going to suck, but that'll be fun.
Yeah. And to the argument, don't go get another recycled guy like a Keenum or a Flacco. We've been there, done that. Sanchez, Flacco, Keenum.
No, this guy
I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, this guy's different. He's not in that class, and I don't know what to do to paint that picture for you other than to use your eyes.
Well, a lot more to talk about with this. 30933 is the Sean Automotive text line. If you guys want in, we're back in 3 minutes.
Stafford takes the snap, sets in the pocket, rolls left. This is going to be it. He's got to get rid of it. Stafford sets, looks, now running back to his right. Stafford looking for somewhere to go, sets and throws.
And it's going to be on Hank Poteet in the end zone.
And Matthew Stafford is down on the field and is not getting up.
Yeah, get the off me.
Pass interference. Defense number 23. Salford in the end zone. Ball been placed at the 1 yard line.
Stafford is going to have to come out of the game.
It's a shoulder problem.
Dante Culpepper will come in for one snap. The Lions will have one play, an untimed play, no time remaining on the clock because of the pass interference in the end zone.
Hey, that's the timeout. I can play, right?
No.
Yeah, help me up. What you got? I can throw the ball if you need me to throw the ball. Hey! I can throw the ball if you need me to throw the ball.
Is Stafford coming back in?
I think Stafford will come back in the game.
I did not think he was going to come back.
Kind of stuff that endears you to a city.
Well, what'll endear him to a city right now is if they get in the end zone and Jason Hanson kicks the extra point to win it.
Here we go. We got near right wing Zorro. Fire, why not? I want.
Let's see if that timeout comes back to haunt the Browns. It allowed Matthew Stafford to come back in.
This is it. This is the game.
Look 20.
Last play of the game. Takes the snap. Rolls. End zone. Touchdown. Detroit Lions out.
It's out. I love you, man. That's out.
What a finish.
Chaotic and helter-skelter, you guys just find a way. Where does that come from?
I mean, we grew up together. We grew up playing together, man. Like this is. I've been with Joker. I've been with Gary and Thrill and Monte and all these guys for 5 years. So I mean, it's just we could come down to being comfortable with guys taking different shots and just trust. I think that's the most thing. So it's a lot of fun to be out there. We have a lot of trust in each other, and we know what we want to go to.
Phil.
We got wide receiver Benny Fowler joining us in 15 minutes, so we'll talk to him. Let's go to the Avs and Nuggets, though, from over the weekend. Guys, it was a long weekend of games. Long. 3 overtimes for the Nuggets, 2 wins for the Avs. They went into overtime on Friday, won that. Finally, hey, a 3-on-3 overtime win for the Avs. That's new. But then damn near blanked last night as Gibson was great, but I don't know. Let's start with the Avs for a second, Moj. Like, what went wrong yesterday, and why are we sitting at 500 6 games in?
Some of it's compete, Brett. I mean, again, I think that Jared Bednar made the point clear on Friday. He didn't think the Avs deserved to win that game. The 3-2 overtime win against the Ducks. They got out-competed in that game for the most part. And what the two teams that they've faced recently have done, part of the deal is when you go to a smaller defensive core overall, and Ryan Graves did not play last night, skilled, highly skilled. Pete made a great point. Outside of Patterin, who did play last night and the night in 3 nights ago, the Avalanche averaged then on the back end 187 pounds per guy. That's including McCarr and Girard and Timmins and Byram and so on. Okay,
it's almost my size. Well, not quite.
You're like $150. What are you?
Well, that's on Marty size. I am 168.
Okay. So a lot of dumping, a lot of chasing, a lot of one-on-one battles won. That happened against the Kings, and that happened against the Ducks. You won one of those games, you lost one of those games. Last night, the Avs were clearly the better team. Clearly. The problem is that you had a good goal by Silverberg 58 seconds in off a face-off. I mean, he just slapped at it right as the puck was dropped. And then you had a great play by Ryan Getzlaf, who's a former Stanley Cup champion and the captain of the Ducks, to Ricard Raquel. And you couldn't solve John Gibson, and he is really right now at the very top of his game. And the Ducks are going to waste him, I'm afraid. I was talking to Maxie about this. I hope the Ducks don't waste that middle part of his career. They've got some really big decisions to make, but you played your butts off. You played hard. You deserved a better fate, so maybe it evens out. You didn't deserve the fate on Friday, but you got the 2 points. You deserved a way better fate. Hit 3 posts in the first period last night, and you don't get any points. And then friggin' Lindholm throws in a 180-footer from deep in his own end to the right. I mean, a strike right in the middle of the net for an empty. They had 1 shot on goal in the third period, the Ducks. 1. And you know what it was? The empty net goal. That's it. They had 1 friggin' shot on goal in the period.
Still still early in the season, not panicking, but we do know this is abbreviated. I mean, you only got 50, how many games left?
50.
50? Got 50 games left here. So you got to turn it around in a hurry. I'm not panicking, but look, I think overall you got to see more out of the forwards not named McKinnon. Get those guys rolling a little bit more.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. Out of the middle 6, having Burakovsky back certainly helped. I thought he had a little jump to his game last night. But Pete was also right when he talked about this. The Avs did not score on the power play last night, although they had opportunities. You can't just rely on the power play. The Avs did not rely on the power play last year. 5-on-5, they were awesome, but a center on this team, including McKinnon, but believe me, he is no problem. He's playing his butt off. He's playing great hockey. Don't worry about him. But all the centers, nobody has an even strength goal through 6 games. Well, nobody.
Can I summarize Moser's monologue regarding the Avalanche last night?
Mm-hmm.
They got a game stolen from them by a hot goalie. That's end of story.
Right.
They outskated, outplayed, outshot, out everything Anaheim, and they should have won that game. And I guarantee you, Coach Bednar would take that performance every single night.
No doubt about it, Vic. You're right.
On the flip side, Vic, it took 3 overtimes, but a couple of wins for the Nuggets, and I still can't make sense of it, dude. Like, I saw the point spread was 2 points on Saturday for the Nuggets. They were favored by 2 because the Suns were without Devin Booker. And I was like, okay, this should be a pretty easy cover. Miracle 3 at the end of regulation from Jamal Murray, where he might have taken 4 steps, but he also might have gotten trucked.
There were 2 missed calls there. He walked and he got fouled.
And then a 3 from Jay Crowder at the end of the first overtime that takes in the second. Like, yes, they won 2 games or 2 games above 500, 9-7, but it's still, something just doesn't look quite right, and I don't know what it is.
They're as close to 7-9 as they are 9-7. They could have very easily lost both those games. I think we can all agree, correct?
That third
but they found a way to win.
On Saturday was the ugliest quarter of offensive basketball on both sides that I've ever seen in my life.
The thing that I leave with those 2 games and those 2 close wins, this is something the Nuggets have done well the last couple of years. They've won the close games. They have been clutch in the clutch, and they have experienced players to do that. And those players, they came through. Joker took over the second overtime. Jamal got him there with the regulation shot at the buzzer. They made the necessary plays. Now, you'd love a little more breathing room. There's zero reason, if you watch the game Saturday night, that game should have gone to a second OT. None. I mean, the defensive lapses at the end of that first overtime were mind-numbing to me. I mean, I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was like, what? What are you doing? The fact that Jay Crowder was able to get that shot off to tie the game.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Well, PJ left. He left him for no reason. Gary I forgot who had was it Chris Paul who had the basketball? Like Gary, whoever it was, had him locked down, and then PJ just left.
It was Frank Kaminsky.
Yeah,
Frank the Tank has the ball. Let him do whatever the hell he wants to do with the ball.
Yeah. But PJ leaves, and he leaves Crowder open. I'm like, what are we doing here? But on top of that, Vic, I'll tell you what was good to see. It was good to see MPJ back getting some minutes because you need that shooting, especially after seeing Paul Millsap and Will Barton combine for 3 points on Saturday in a double overtime game.
By the way, one thing that I noticed, Michael Porter Jr. isn't just a scorer type guy. He can rebound the basketball,
He
too.
boards, dude. He had some defensive boards next to Ayton that nobody else on the Nuggets team
may be
can
right
get.
now the second best rebounder on the Denver Nuggets behind Jokic. I'm dead serious, dude.
Dude, if they played equal minutes, I think MPJ might be the best rebounder. Like, he very well could be.
He might be. So it's critical to have him back. I mean, it really is. And again, you don't want to. He's been out for so long. You don't want to play him just a bazillion minutes. But on Saturday night, I mean, basically, Michael Malone said, "Well, kid, you've been hanging for a month. Play a ton, right?" And he came through, and he didn't shoot the ball as much as I thought perhaps that he would shoot. But I felt good about both wins. Again, Vic, you're talking about a sweep. It doesn't matter how you get it in the desert. You sweep in the desert, right? Against a team that was better than you, that had a better record than you coming into it. And even though Booker didn't play, you still got to win. A win is a win. You're a 9-7 club, and now you start to set your sights on let's start to string it together. Okay, let's find a little bit more of a groove. You got
find
all
a stride.
your dudes. Yeah, find a stride a little bit. Start stringing it together. So, Brett, while there's still some ugliness, there's a lot of potential to come here.
I asked Jamal Murray after the win Saturday night, an exhausted Jamal Murray.
Yeah,
took
he
him a few minutes
think straight. I don't blame him.
Took him a few minutes to collect himself just to get the microphone on. I asked him after the game, I said, what is it about your team that put you in position to win these close games? We've seen a lot of this.
We grew up together. We grew up playing together, man. Like this is. I've been with Joker. I've been with Gary and Thrill and Monte and all these guys for 5 years. So I mean, it's just we could come down to being comfortable with guys taking different shots and just trust. I think that's the most thing. So it's a lot of fun to be out there. We have a lot of trust in each other, and we know what we want to go to.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, that sounded great. I also think he gave you the middle finger during that interview.
Oh, there's no doubt. He didn't want to be out there. But what do you do? I mean, we were given the choice, just to give you some insight on how it works after the game. We're given the choice, who do we want to interview? Who is your player of the game? I could have gone with Joker.
Or Jamal Murray.
I could have gone with Joker because he dominated the second overtime, but we had heard from Joker the day before. We hear from Joker all the time. Somebody else come on, right? Mm-hmm. And we don't get to that point if Jamal doesn't make that shot at the end of regulation. So I said, no way, man, let's go Jamal. The guy was toast. He was tired. He was obviously fatigued. I mean, what do you want me to do?
No, I'm not criticizing you. I'm not criticizing you at all. I just thought it was funny. Vic tried to be cute at the very end, and I think Jamal took the headphones and chucked them on the table.
Yeah. He wasn't happy.
He did. Yeah, he was done. Hey, Vic.
But all I can do is ask the questions, right?
I know you're fine. You're fine. Hey, what's going on with Will Barton?
I don't think they should play Will Barton on the second game of a back-to-back. Nor should they play Paul Millsap on the second game of a back-to-back. That's my opinion. Ultimately, Coach Malone's got to make those decisions. But you tell me. Paul Millsap cannot play the second game of a back-to-back. He couldn't catch Saturday night.
Well, here's what I did like, and I'm glad that Malone did this because I was wondering this out loud watching the game if he was going to go back to Will once overtime started and take out MPJ, and thank God that he didn't because MPJ, God, he was a plus 19 in the game on Saturday. I mean, he came in, immediately gave them some life offensively. When that third quarter, both teams at one point, I think I got this right, don't I, Vic? They were combined 8 for 36 from the field during the third quarter.
Yeah.
Like nobody could make a shot.
Brett, my only concern is that if you put MPJ back into the starting lineup and you want Will to come off and provide some punch off the bench, are you going to get it at this point? He's had a couple. I mean, he's had a little. I mean, he can win some games for you, no doubt about it.
Play Hartenstein. He didn't play a single minute. Play him a little bit. Play him ahead of Millsap. I mean, there are plenty of guys.
You want the Tasmanian Devil in there?
Well, you tell me. On the second game of a back-to-back, would you rather see Hartenstein get 12 to 15 minutes or Millsap on the second game of a back-to-back?
The American-German foul machine? By the way,
we got to take a break. Hang on. We got to take a break. We got to get to Benny Fowler.
Hartenstein.
Wide receiver Benny Fowler joins us next. Love talking to this guy. It is wide receiver Benny Fowler. As we chatted with you last week, Benny, always appreciate your time. As we head into this week, we have two teams that are now in the Super Bowl. But my question for you, if you're a wide receiver for Green Bay and you hear LaFleur trot out the field goal unit on 4th and 8 when you're down 8 and a couple of minutes left, what's going through your head?
Man, I hope our defense can stop these guys right now. That's what's going through my mind. Like, why would we not go for it? We had some good attempts at the end zone. Looking back at the replay, I thought Aaron Rodgers could have ran it on that 3rd down, easily ran it in. And it's just, what's going through the coach's mind and what are they thinking? They were helping. The defense was helping the offense out. They had, Tom Brady turn the ball over 3 times in the second half. So, man, I feel bad for the Packers, but Tom Brady's going back to another one.
Benny, we talk about pro athletes and all this kind of stuff. We've all been in this game for a long time. But if people are human beings. Coaches are humans. Players are human beings. And sometimes it's a tough decision. And I know there are conversations that go on a sideline, and they have to happen fast. Take us through that scenario a little bit as you're winding down through the downs on 3rd and goal. Yeah, he throws an incomplete pass when he could have run. How does that conversation take place very quickly?
Yeah, it takes place pretty much in the quarterback's helmet. He's looking over to the sideline. The question I would have is that when, Matt LaFleur, you got Aaron Rodgers, one of the best and one of the most talented quarterbacks of all time. So I'm surprised that Aaron Rodgers didn't give him like, hey, no, we're staying out here. Let's go for it. You've seen Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid on 4th and 1. They go up on 4th and 1 at the end of games. It doesn't matter where it is because it's the confidence within his play calling and his ability with his quarterback. So I question that. Yeah, but we are human beings, and maybe Matt LaFleur was thinking something.
What about the chemistry between coach and player there, right? I mean, wasn't there ever a conversation before that drive or during that series that, hey, this is 4-down territory? The fact that he didn't know that they would have that option on 4th down troubles me more than anything. Are they talking during, how does that work on the sideline? Is the head coach going to the quarterback and saying, be prepared for 4-down territory? Does that take place during the game?
Oh, absolutely. All the coaches, the receiver coach, the offensive line coach, all the coaches are letting the players know, this is 4-down territory. We obviously have to score here and go for 2 to tie it up. So be ready to go for it on 4th down. That's being said in everybody's headset. That is communicated through the entire sideline. So, yes, they definitely talked about it before that.
Benny, you are the beneficiary of a great trivia question we asked last week. You caught a 2-point conversion, which was the final pass ever thrown by Peyton Manning. So perhaps you're the wrong person to ask. But let me get your thoughts on the analytics and where the NFL is headed with these 2-point plays. Because every game, you get something in the early 3rd quarter where a coach goes for 2 and you're sitting at home going, why? What are we doing here? What are your thoughts on that whole thing?
Yeah, I can see what they were thinking there. They're thinking go for 2, make it a 3-point game because you don't know, with the time of possession and Tom Brady being as good as he is, we don't know if we're going to get the ball back. We don't know how much time we're going to get it back with. So I like the fact that Matt LaFleur went for it. And, they basically had it. They ran a great play. The receiver dropped the ball, the 2-point conversion. But, yeah, they wanted to get down. They wanted to just be down 3 because then you make it a field goal to tie the game instead of having to be down 5 and then having to score a touchdown to win the game. So, I understand what he was thinking there.
Benny Fowler, former Broncos receiver with us. In the AFC, Mahomes is going to another Super Bowl. This feels a lot like the student taking on the sensei at the dojo between him and Tom Brady. I don't think we could get a better matchup, right? This is literally this could be a passing of the torch moment or, Mr. Miyagi keeping the fly out of the hand of the student.
Yeah, definitely. Tom Brady, one of the most successful quarterbacks of all time, one of the top quarterbacks of all time in terms of everything that he's achieved. I was looking more forward to seeing Mahomes and Rodgers just because of the State Farm commercials. I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah.
But I was looking forward to seeing those two just because of the arm talent by both of them. Not saying that Brady doesn't have arm talent, but Mahomes and Rodgers, they're super exciting quarterbacks. But, yeah, this could be a passing of the torch moment, even though Mahomes, just the way he started his career, is a little bit different than when Brady starts his.
You know, Benny, I got a little bit of a rash of crap yesterday when I said, hey, listen, Brady did it, man. He's going to his 10th Super Bowl. He resurrected the Buccaneers. And then people jump on me, well, he threw 3 picks. Well, he's old. Well, blah, blah, blah.
He did it. Bottom line, he did it.
And Benny, I don't think people understand. Listen, Peyton, in your Super Bowl 50, he wasn't the Peyton of years before. We know that. But what does it mean just to have, whether he's throwing a couple of picks, whatever, what does it mean to have that guy in that room or on that sideline with everybody else outside of his play? What does that mean?
It means a lot. When he just boosts the morale of the team. Obviously, we can see the effect that he's had on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers organization, them going to their first Super Bowl in 18 years, and all they did was really add, one player that really put them over the hump. And how about let's give some credit to that Buccaneers defense, though.
Yeah, so good.
Understand.
Yep.
Let's give some credit to that defense because as well as Tom Brady has played throughout the year, I mean, he did put them in some situations yesterday that could have lost them that game. I mean, throwing 3 interceptions is usually if you lose a turnover battle, you're going to lose that game 85% of the time. But the fact that that defense showed up and guys like Devin White and those corners, they made some great plays. And Shaq Barrett, former Bronco that I won Super Bowl with, undrafted guy with me, let's give some credit to him. 3 sacks in the game. Those plays right there, let's give some credit to that defense because that defense has showed up in all 3 games. That defense is the reason why we lost last week. And we turned the ball. We helped Tom Brady turn the ball over last week, too.
Listen, Tom, credit anybody who's that old. I mean, Benny, he can be your father, for crying out loud. He could be my father. He's that old. But they did it on the road, man. They won 3 games on the road. Since the bye week, I mean, these numbers are amazing. The Bucs were 7-5 at the bye, right? They were average. They're just an average team. 7-0 since then. And most of those wins have come on the road. How much of that has to do, in your mind, maybe road and home field, that all being neutralized due to COVID?
Yeah, that's a big deal. 9,000 Green Bay Packer fans as opposed to 65,000 is totally different in terms of the fact that the atmosphere is not the same. When you run out to Lambeau Field in that historic stadium and you got 65,000 people, it's a little bit harder to communicate. It's a little bit harder to get things done. So the home field advantage thing isn't really that big of a deal this year. When you go to a place like Kansas City, it's hard to come out of there and get a win, especially when I was playing here in Denver. Like, that's those 70,000 fans. I mean, you can't even hear each other talk when you're right next to each other. So things like that definitely make a difference. And it probably wouldn't have made a difference in terms of Tom Brady's play because he understands those elements. But a team who hasn't been to the playoffs in 18 years, the fact that they don't have – and they went on their road with no crowd – it's a little bit easier, but I mean they still got it done. So give them credit.
Benny Fowler with us. Benny, before we let you go, we got a couple of weeks leading up to the Super Bowl. I'm sure we'll talk again before that. But the question that a lot of people have around here: Matthew Stafford and the Lions have agreed to part ways. They're going to trade him. If you're Denver, you've had a chance to watch Stafford up close. Number 9 overall pick for Stafford. Would you do it if you're the Broncos?
Would I do it? Drew Lock has a lot of talent, and he has the arm, but I feel like with the way the Broncos' offense is right now, they have a lot of weapons in Jerry Jeudy, Sutton, KJ Hamler, Tim Patrick, Noah Fant. I mean, these guys are incredible. Why not? Your defense has obviously shown up year in and year out, even since I was playing here. So why not take the opportunity and also still keep Lock because he can learn from a guy like Stafford. They're both gunslingers. So, yes, if I'm the Broncos, I definitely, he's a veteran guy. He knows how to throw the ball. Him coming to Denver and throwing in this altitude, I mean, it just only enhances his arm. So why not try it?
I love you, man. I love your brain. I love the way you're thinking. I'm down with that, too. As we let you go, Benny, appreciate your time. So you're in New Orleans. Guys, don't just let me have this time, okay? I was there a couple of years ago, Benny, and I went to the concourse. I was watching the Rams take on the Saints, right? And I had an alligator bratwurst. That was maybe the best damn thing I ever. Did you ever eat any alligator down there?
No, I didn't. But food down there, the Southern hospitality is a real thing.
Oh,
down there.
man.
Some of the most incredible food I've had.
Man, all the jambalayas. I ate every shrimp in New Orleans, man, and every alligator. I mean, the swamp is cleaned out. It's so good. Recommend, man, when you get back down there, get the rehab done. Alligator brat, it's the way to go.
Yeah, Benny, when we talk to you again, we'll ask you about beignets, okay? How about that?
Hey, man, beignets are good, too. He may be a pro athlete. But you can spring for a beignet with a little powdered sugar on top, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Cafe Du Monde.
Little glass of champagne.
I once got peed on in New Orleans. That's my only.
Benny, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, appreciate you guys. Thank you.
CBF.
There you go. Benny Fowler, wide receiver. That's his
Hold
position.
on a second.
Hey, next time we get him on, because I really wanted to get into the whole. He's best friends with Gary Harris, and he knows what the Nuggets are thinking. Right? He knows the pulse of the Nuggets like no other. I just wanted to see what Gary and the Nuggets, how they feel about hitting their stride right now.
Sure.
Via Benny.
You can't, though. We can't go through an entirely great interview with Benny Fowler. Have him say so many smart things, and then at the end say, "Oh yeah, I got peed on. Some guy whizzed on me." I'm assuming it's a guy.
Got to pick up the pace here, Moshe. Got to pick up the pace.
Anyway, in New Orleans,
you brought it up.
Hey,
I know, but you can't wrap up a segment with, "Oh yeah, and by the way, some dude whizzed on me."
You know, there's something that I loved about his
That's not cool,
response
man.
to the Stafford thing, which was this: why not?
Yeah.
What? Like, isn't that a good way to put it? Just why not? What exactly is the harm that's going to come there? Like, let's say that Drew Lock improves incredibly. Okay, well then good. So now you have both. Like, what would be the issue?
You know how I freaked out when Keenum and Flacco and all these guys came in, because they're not a Stafford by any means.
No.
And you haven't found your guy. Stafford is different. Stafford is a dude.
But when
let's
come back,
get it straight, Vic. Stafford's a dude.
When we come back, I want to ask this question to all listeners: If you get Stafford, if you're that blessed to land Matthew Stafford, okay, do you keep Locke if you have that option, or do you include him in the package to get Stafford? What would your choice be in that endeavor? For me, it's an easy one.
All right, again, we got a announcement that we are bringing you guys tomorrow, so stay tuned.
Who told you
for that? Yeah. Little birdie. For the first time ever, Brett Kane's got some inside sources, and something's happening.
That was a lie.
Yeah, maybe it is, but we do have an announcement tomorrow, so we will bring that to you.
I think people are going to really enjoy it, too.
I think so, too. Meanwhile, Vic, you wanted to continue to get down and dirty with these quarterbacks, specifically Stafford. Yeah. Go for it.
By the way, a guy's officially done. He's leaving a certain franchise when his significant other, in this case, Matt Stafford's wife, pens a goodbye letter. Well, she's
his PR arm. Like, she's
pretty much
his communications director.
Yeah. She's gotten him in trouble a couple times, but she said goodbye via Instagram to Detroit today. Send a heartfelt message. Hey, I'm going to love Michigan. Going to miss everybody here. Well, I've been in Michigan this time of year. Trust me, you're not going to miss it.
Yeah.
Nobody who lives in Michigan this time of year misses Michigan.
No.
Anybody here in the metro area, if you're from that part of the country, again, I lived there for a while, you do not miss it right now. You want to get the hell out of there as fast as you can.
If you've ever experienced lake effect snow, you never want to be there this time of year.
You want to get the hell out of there and never look back.
I thought she's had some, she's actually, I don't think she's ever against the Lions. Was she, Brett?
No, she would talk crap on people who disrespected her husband.
Right. And then she battled for him in the COVID situation. She came out. I thought she'd just maybe like, peace out, Motown.
No, she didn't do that. She actually did the right thing. She wrote, quote, "This place supported me during the toughest time of my life and during the happiest times. And I want to thank you all in the right way." Whatever. Okay, goodbye. Mm-hmm. So here's what we've got today. There are a couple quarterbacks on the market. We know Deshaun Watson wants out. He is supposedly on the market. Aaron Rodgers rumors, just clear them from your head. That's not happening. So the one quarterback that the Broncos have a legit, and when I say legit, there are about 18 other teams in line for him, is Matt Stafford. Okay? You're not the only one in the running for Matt Stafford. Indy's in the running. San Francisco's in the running. New England is up there. You can go team after team.
Could you imagine, by the way,
Orleans,
11-5
San Francisco?
Yes.
Imagine 11-5 Indy saying, "Let's upgrade from Phillip Rivers to Matthew Stafford."
It's doable. It's very much doable.
Do you think Vegas would part with Carr to get us?
I would not be surprised one bit. Gruden, how capricious he could be. I would not be surprised if they're in the mix.
Okay, again, you're assuming Watson is a special person and a special case. Rodgers maybe ain't going anywhere. Would Miami get in the mix?
Not for number 3.
I don't know.
Not for number 3 overall. Like that's too much, I think, to give up for Stafford.
So the question I want to pose.
I'm saying would they call and present a package? Miami.
You cannot dismiss anybody. That's all I'm saying, Mark. You can't dismiss anybody.
The Jets. The damn Steelers. Who knows what Big Ben is going to do? And they just signed Dwayne Haskins, but they need a number 1.
There are 10 teams currently playing professional football who I can honestly say will not make a run at Matt Stafford. 10. And that's it. That's it. Mm-hmm. Every other team could make a shot.
Tennessee
take a shot.
Could. Indy, yeah. Houston, if they lose to Deshaun, yeah. Jags won't.
Okay, but let me pose this because it's what will it take to get him from Detroit? What's the best case package? Peter King in his column today, he has the Broncos number 2 on destination points, and he has one of 2 options.
Is this destination points for like best fit for Stafford? Is that what he's doing it?
Both ways, best fit for Stafford and best trade package for the Lions.
Okay,
all right. He says the Colts are the easy pick because you can compensate the Colts. The Colts can compensate the Lions with the 21st overall pick in the draft. 21 overall, he seems to think will get you Matt Stafford. I don't think it's enough, but
I think it'll be a little bit more.
But whatever. The Broncos he has at number 2. And here's what he thinks will make it happen for the Broncos. They can do one of 2 things. 2 second-round picks. They have the 39th right now. They would have to accrue another second-rounder. 2 second-round picks. Or this year's second-rounder plus Drew Lock. I thought, when I first read that, I thought it would take the number 9 pick. I thought for sure it would take the number 9 pick. But apparently, according to the trade market, that's too much.
I don't know if that's. I mean, I think somebody's giving up a first rounder for him, and the Lions,
I agree.
The Lions are taking a first rounder over a second.
I
and Drew Lock
wholeheartedly.
every.
You know the impact the quarterback position makes in this market. You know how teams get desperate. There are going to be many, many teams making package deals to the Detroit Lions. In the end, a number one pick will be involved, no doubt about it.
Yep, and that's
No
where.
doubt.
Look, if I'm the Broncos, if they just say, hey, number 9 for Stafford, straight swap. I'm doing it. I'm doing that deal. I think
I would do it in a heartbeat.
It's actually perfect compensation on both sides.
I would do it in a heartbeat. But here's the question. Would you do that? Here's the question I have for the listeners. Would you do the number 9 pick alone? Or if Detroit said, okay, we'll take your second round pick plus Drew Lock.
Yeah, I would do that. Again,
think about it this way, Moj. If they do that second deal that Vic's just talking about, and again, this is why I don't think it's going to happen. If you trade Drew Lock, you're basically doing this. Lock's not going to play anyway. So we'll give you a guy who's not going to play in a second round pick. Like you're just trading a second round pick instead of a first. That's what it doesn't make sense to me for.
It depends on what they think about Drew Lock, though, and about his potential. Because I think they're going to want a guy. They're going to look at Wilson. They're going to look at somebody who's available at 9 and draft that quarterback. That's my feeling on the subject.
Mm-hmm.
But if they think that Locke has really good potential and you put him in a different situation, you clear his head out, maybe he could be better. Maybe they would want him. To me, I would want to go with a guy. Like, I'd want to go with a guy in the draft. That's what I'd want. If I'm the Lions, I hold out for the number 9 or I don't do the deal.
Let me tell you something, and this is just, I'm shocked this is coming out of my mouth. This is the first time in probably, 5 or 6 years, I feel like the Lions are actually being smart. Like, getting rid of Stafford, knowing you're not going to win anytime soon, is a very smart move. They bring in John Dorsey. They bring in Anthony Lynn as offensive coordinator. Like, they're doing some smart things, which is, we're going to totally restart here because we have to.
And you have a phys ed teacher now as your head coach.
Yes,
things are going to change. Things are going to change.
Is it me or did anybody else over the weekend think to themselves, just maybe, nice job there, Martin. Just maybe.
What do y'all
Marty's
think?
Skills.
If you guys are watching on Twitch, all Marty just did was he took a picture of Tebow and literally put Stafford's face over the entire helmet. It's a terrible Photoshop. Anyway.
But Brett, did anybody else think maybe Stafford just said to himself, you know what, I ain't biting any kneecaps?
Is that what did it?
He heard the kneecaps thing. He's like,
all right, I'm out of here.
He's like, look, honey, can I bite a kneecap?
Yeah.
No? Okay. Yeah, no, we want out for sure.
You know what Matt Stafford reminds me of? And we got to do me a favor. We haven't heard from this guy in a long time, and he did a weekly show with us. Get a hold of Jake Plummer. Do it now.
Mm-hmm.
Make it happen. Marty, get a hold of Jake. It reminds me of Jake Plummer and his career in Arizona, where he saw very little success there with the Cardinals. He took him as far as they could go.
He was a younger man.
He was younger. But I'm telling you right now, at that point in his career, the Arizona Cardinals were going to give him nothing. It was a lost franchise. Because I worked there. I know. He wanted out. And the Denver Broncos had an opportunity. And at that time, Mike Shanahan saw an upgrade at that position. He brought him in. And you know what? Overall, when you could take your team to an AFC title game, should have won that game. But when you could, that's a pretty damn good move. Would you guys characterize the Jake Plummer move here in Denver as success?
Sure.
Of course.
Absolutely. Went to a title game.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I would. And
of
you
course.
Know what? I would also categorize that, man, you should have stuck with him. That's me. But that's for another time.
That is what this deal reminds me of from Denver's perspective. You get a guy who's better than perhaps his record, better than the team he played for before, better than.
Here, this is the way I'd put it. And again, I am an expert on this subject. Do you want to know why the Lions are open to trading Stafford? They think he's going to be too good for how bad they want to be next year.
That's a very valid point.
It's the truth.
Yeah, it's the very reason. Do you know why the Denver Broncos traded Aqib Talib? Why they traded so many of those defensive players after the Super Bowl? Because deep down, believe it or not, the Broncos knew they weren't going to be where they needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And those guys had to go. And they would not have tolerated. Do you think Aqib Talib would have tolerated the last 5 years in Denver?
No chance. No. And so they got rid of that before it started. And again,
I wish we had done Brian a week later, Brian Greasy, because to get his thoughts on this would be very, very.
Let me tell you something though. Vic's right on this. Like, I think the Plummer comp is really good. Like, this is a guy who is better than the team that he plays for. The team, look, is he a superstar? No, he's not that. But was the team holding him back? Absolutely, yes. The team was holding him back.
Yes.
Put in the right situation,
Yes.
he can rack up a ton. Look at Tampa. That front seven for Tampa, I was blown away because I didn't even recognize it because Jameis Winston was throwing 30 picks a year. That front seven for Tampa had JPP, Ndamukong Suh, Vita Vea, Shaq Barrett, Levante David, Devin White. That team was primed
and
to
now they
win.
look great. And now they look great. See, it all comes from where is your franchise? Is it in win mode or is it in just be alive mode? And the Detroit Lions, they're just happy to be alive, right? That franchise. They're not in win mode.
Their goal is to go 2-14 next year.
So, and that's where the Arizona Cardinals were for years because I lived it there. I know it's a different story now. Arizona's on a different pace. They've upgraded in so many different areas. So, where is the franchise from which you gather that quarterback?
Okay,
that's where that franchise is.
Last thing though. Last thing as we get the break. From Stafford's perspective, he doesn't have a no movement. I mean, he can't choose where he goes, right, Brett?
Well,
okay.
To be honest, I don't know. He might.
Okay.
But
he's got a contract-friendly deal.
For the teams that are vying for his services, it's a much better situation. He's going to say no to. He's not going to say no to anything.
Okay, but hang on. I agree with that. But at the same time, he's no spring chicken. When you look around, and Vic, I think, is correct. All the teams that you don't know would be in on him, that will be in on him.
They're going to be in on him.
Let's take Vegas, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Assume 3/4 of the league wants him.
That being said, if you're Stafford, I mean, what's the top 5 most attractive place to go? Not what the Lions will take for you, but do you have any sort of hand in where you go in the movement that's about to take place? Because he's probably going to look at all these teams and say, who's the closest to winning? I'm 32. I want to try to win before I'm done.
To be honest with you, Moj, I think that he does for this reason. I don't know if there's a no-trade clause or not, but I know this. He has a good relationship with that organization. Like, they like each other a lot, and I think they'd be willing to help him out and facilitate a move to somewhere that would be preferable to him. But a lot more to get to this morning. 309-33, Champ Automotive text line. A quick break. Back in 3 minutes. Marty just sent us this. This is incredible. Marty, do you have who tweeted this out, who we can give credit to for this? Just look that up as I read this. Sorry, who is it?
I will let you know.
Okay. Tom Brady has made the Super Bowl in 10 out of 21 seasons. That is a percentage of making the Super Bowl of 47% in his career. Yep. Steph Curry's three-point percentage for his career is 43%. Tom Brady is more likely to reach the Super Bowl than Steph is to make a three.
That
is weird.
That's insane. That's insanity. I want you to say that again because I want that to register. It's not registered yet. Say that again.
Tom Brady makes the Super Bowl 47% of the time. Steph Curry makes a three 43% of the time. Tom Brady is more likely to reach the Super Bowl than Steph Curry is to make a three.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, that's stupid. You know, we're going to get a lot of Tom Brady hate. It's Denver, right? Most of it's envy. I get it because I'm there too. I feel it. But if you gave me a choice, who do you want to win the Super Bowl? It's a no-brainer, right? I mean, come on, we're in Denver. We're pulling for the Bucs here, right? This is Brady's bowl. We're all aboard the Brady train here, right? Shaq Barrett's on that team. Jensen's on that team. Come on, Ryan Jensen. We got a couple of guys from Colorado. This is all Denver, all Tampa.
How do you tell Jensen on the field?
Oh, the hair.
His hair, his red hair. Kane, you ought to be really, really in tune with this cat. He's a Colorado.
Oh, I love him. Yeah.
His red hair.
My people right there.
And I was talking to McNabb last night. And he goes,
Norse Viking.
Pete goes, he's a mean blanker. I said, yeah, he is. He's a tough kid. You think about, did you see the video last night with Brady and Gronk getting off that airplane? Did you see that?
That was so good.
Gronk,
you know what?
I want to hate it. I couldn't.
You can't hate it. No, you can't hate it. You can't. I don't know if you could play the audio version of it.
The Bad Boys for Life song? Yeah.
That was a remake of the video they did a couple years ago. Right. You remember the one they did a couple years ago? Those same two guys, and Gronk plays a cameo in it, and Brady's sitting there with that smirk. Right? It's that look on his face of keep doubting me. Go ahead. I'm going to sit here and smile. Keep doubting me. Keep thinking I'm too old. Keep thinking I'm washed up. Keep thinking I can't throw the long ball, which I've said numerous times on this show, and yet he threw the long ball and completed them. Keep thinking what you want. I'll just keep going to the Super Bowl.
I think I've reached this conclusion. We already know that Tom Brady's the best player that's ever played this sport. We know that. I think Tom Brady's the best guy to play any sport ever. I think he's better. I think that he's better than Jordan. I think he's better than Tiger at golf. Look, guys, nobody will ever do what he's done. Nobody will ever do it. Like, say what you want about Jordan. Yes, 6-0 in the finals, but Jordan, remember, had some first-round exits. He couldn't get back past the Pistons for a while. Brady's done this since he entered the league as a starting quarterback. He's made the Super Bowl.
I can view Brady with a different lens now. See, I hated Brady mostly because he played for New England, and I hate Boston. I can't stand it.
But he was the reason why you hated New England.
Because
of his success.
Hoodie had something to do with it.
If they went 8-8 every year, you wouldn't hate New England like you do.
No. Boston fan is the reason I hated Boston.
The fans.
The Boston fan.
Are way over the top.
I get it.
Yeah. So now that he's out of that picture and he's in Tampa, a harmless entity, right? Take him out of Boston, put him in a harmless franchise.
Yeah, Tampa.
And now I'm fine with Brady. Yeah. I'm perfectly. Go Tom. Do it for the old guys. Us old people. You're my age. Go get them.
Brady was the vessel for which all those massholes could spew their stuff, right? Mm-hmm. He was the vessel. Like they used Manny Ramirez.
Yep.
They used Kurt Schilling. They used Tom Brady. And that vessel is now gone. And that's a positive thing.
And you know what? What makes me they have to watch him win.
Mm. Yeah. And you know what, Brett? I'm going to say this too. Tampa's in Florida. But Tampa.
Wait. Did you get that down?
They're what?
Let me explain. Tampa is in Florida.
What?
But Tampa is nothing.
Who told you that?
Is nothing like Miami. Nothing like you couldn't have two opposite Florida cities.
Here's the other reason I'm rooting for Tampa hard. All right, when you talk about punchable faces and just come on, man, you want me to pull for KC and Travis Kelce?
Yeah, that one hurts.
Are you Are you insane?
Here's
you want me to sit here and say, go Kelsey? Get out of here. Somebody tweeted me last night, hey, I'm old school. I go for the conference that you're in. Get out of here with that crap.
I think your newfound love for Tom Brady now, you want the old guy to win, blah, blah, blah. I think that changes immediately if Josh Allen upset the Chiefs yesterday.
Of course it does.
Yeah. Yeah, you're doing a Sophie's Choice thing here.
Right.
It's not the love of Brady.
That is right.
Well, this is life, though, right? Choices are always made. I mean, come on, dudes.
Although if we had our Sophie's Choice, we just push both of them and say, "Go ahead, take both."
Are we going to completely ignore what Mahomes did yesterday? I mean, are we going to forget? Dude, I'm doing the Avs game, right? I'm doing pregame, getting ready for the game, and we're rehearsing and all that kind of stuff. It's 9-0 Buffalo. All of a sudden, it's 14-9 Kansas City. All of a sudden, it's 38-15 Kansas City. I'm going, what the hell happened?
Did anybody in the football watching world at 9-0, anybody think, because I didn't.
No.
I'm like, 9-0. That's like a hiccup. That's like you just woke them up. 9-0.
If you spot them 28, you're fine, right?
What lead would have been safe? What lead?
McNabb goes, is this kid, he looks at me and he goes, hey, is this kid, talking about Allen, is he going to put up 30? I go, I doubt it. He goes, well, then they've already lost. Doesn't even matter if they're losing right now.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because unless you have an offense that's capable of putting up 30-plus per game, you're not going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
You're 100% true. And they put up 30 before you snap your fingers. It's over.
Hey, can you guys explain something to me? Explain Tampa and Super Bowl appearance.
It's a city in Florida.
Super Bowl appearance for their football team. Stanley Cup championship for their hockey team.
Yeah.
Their baseball team made it to the World Series.
Yeah.
The hell's going on there?
Well, their basketball
city
team
of champions.
Their basketball team ain't going to win.
Yeah, the Tampa
But it
Raptors
is right now
Tampa
the
Raptors.
city of champions, and there's no denying it. Remember when Sporting News came up with those great, the greatest sports city in America, and Denver made it back in, I want to say 98. I don't remember the exact year. Denver made it, and we were all so proud. They win that honor, and they win it with ease. It is the best sports city in America right now.
And now they're hosting the Super Bowl.
That too.
And their hometown team, for the first time in the history of the game, is going to play in their home stadium in a Super Bowl.
Of course, by the way, who's the quarterback who finally gets to host a Super Bowl at the home stadium for the first time? Yeah, of course. It's Brady.
Spark Plus.
I guess when you have 10 opportunities, you got a pretty good shot at eventually hitting one year, right? It's like a roulette wheel.
I saw this.
Eventually, it's going to hit your number.
This one had to hurt. Tom Brady has won as many NFC championships as Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Dude, on top of that, Vic, there are only 3 quarterbacks in NFL history that have won more postseason games against NFC teams. Do you want to know who they are?
Joe Montana, Steve Young, and Troy Aikman.
Not Steve Young, not Troy Aikman. Brady has more wins than them.
How's that? That can't be true.
Brady has 9 career postseason wins over NFC teams. The only
because he's done in the Super Bowl. She's done in the Super
Bowl.
Oh,
yeah.
The only people who have more. Favre leads the way with 12. Rodgers has 10. Montana has 10.
Yeah.
I guess I was thinking about just this year doing what he did. That's my bad.
No surprise, by the way, every other quarterback on this list is an NFC quarterback. Just so we're clear.
Go Brady. Go Brady, man. That tweet he sent with him and Gronk. You know what? People hate greatness. You laughed at him when he played golf alongside Peyton and Tiger and Phil, and he looked like an idiot out there, and he kept pushing the ball to the right.
He tore his pants.
He tore his pants. He looked terrible. But you know what? He just showed the world there, this is sort of a hobby. This is not me.
How about this guy? Supermodel wife. She's worth $1 billion. He sells bottled water for $20 a pop and underwear for $1.25. Going to his 10th Super Bowl. Now with a new team. Separated from Hoodie. Everybody knows the answer to that question now. Is this the most charmed son of a gun we've seen? I mean,
yes.
Is he the most charmed son of a gun we've ever seen come down the pike?
Yes.
That's crazy.
I don't root against that. I don't root against greatness. Unless, of course, he were playing a team I like, then I'll root the hell against him.
Yeah, what if he's playing against Josh Allen? Then what?
I was going to say.
Well, then everything changes.
LeBron, yeah. Let's see how you feel about that.
No.
Yeah, see? 30933 is the Sean Bottom.
Although I've always don't do that to me. I always rooted for LeBron in Cleveland. Hell, I loved LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
He went back home. He played Golden State in all those years. I always rooted for LeBron in those series. Always.
How about now?
And then he did what he did. Then he goes to LA and you know the story there. I mean, how can you root for that?
Got to take a break.
How do you root for that?
You guys want in 303-504-0925. We're back in 3 minutes.
Just to throw it underneath. Back in the back. Get the ball out of your hands early, and then get going. There he goes. Across the middle. Sidearms it. Gets it to Tiggs. Got to fight for the... You're great. 8 out of 10 this year, Jim. Allen flips it to Knox for the first down. Gained 8. And now on first down, looking to throw it. Gets it to Yeldon. And Breed ran for 421 yards this year. Did Allen. Still got it. Flips it to Beasley, and he's intercepted. The ball. Cortez on the hold, and Bass's kick. It is good. Into the net. 4. Now you get up and play tight man coverage. Mahomes across the middle. Lobs it. Stepping up. This is what he does so well. A hard worker, and he loves the game, so he's learning with good coaching around him and a good, team. I mean, you're seeing the evolution. 2nd and 8. Standing in there. Snead is on him. It takes him back all the way. Will he run it again? Yes, he will. He'll get back. Gross average over 50 yards a punt. Got it to Knox, to the end zone. And first down, take the handoff, rolling out. They're coming after him. Mahomes unloads it and gets it in time. Coordinated by Leslie Frazier. Back to Kelsey for a 3rd catch. Edmonds hit him first. Milan. 2nd and 10. Now Hill. And performed well against the Browns. 3rd and 11. Coming back for the catch. You're going to see a motion down here. Yeah, they always do this in these areas. And then he comes back. Oh, they're heading the same way to Williams. Final minute of the first. Mahomes on first down. Finds Hill. Poyer won't let him advance. To the backfield. Here's the blitz. Allen, Matthew had him.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 17. Spot foul. Lost it down. 4th down.
And now the Chiefs begin this drive at the 18 with Williams, the running back. They give it to Hardman again on the end around. And he can turn on those afterburners. Look out. Inside the 40 and down to...
By the way, you got out of the division, right, Buffalo? You never have to see him again.
Yeah.
Big weekend of Avs and Nuggets. Both played 2 games, both of them back-to-backs. Well, I guess the second leg of it for the Avs. Anyway.
Interesting stuff, Kaner, as we're starting to see this season go on in the NHL with the playing the 2 teams in a row thing. It's interesting to see the way it's playing out. Usually the team that wins game 1 now is losing game 2. Has been that way for the Avs, right? They've split all 3 little mini-series so far this year. But it's also that way around the NHL.
Why is that?
Vic, I don't know because we haven't seen this before. I don't know.
Moj, help me out here because I know a lot of people, they look at the Avs situation. They're a 500 team, according to the record. Why am I not worried the least bit about the Avalanche?
Because you shouldn't be. No, I don't think you should be. They got to pick it up, and they've got to find – to me, they've got too many players who aren't doing enough right now that they will do some things, okay? They've got to find the rotation on the back end. Don't make fun of me. They've got to find the rotation with the D-core. Find 7 guys that are going to be the guys for the most part. And I think you're working all that out. Again, the number of games you've already played in the NHL this season, that's how many you would have had played in the preseason to work all this stuff out, right?
You know what the Avs – yes. And you know what the Avs feel like to me? Follow me on this one. They are that team, and we've seen this historically, that they look so shiny in 2 or 3 years. They're up there with the top of the Western Conference. And then there's a season where they fall back a little bit. Come playoff time, though, they've got that experience of playoffs prior. They find their way, and they become a major. I feel like it's that team now. I feel like they've graduated to that mode. Not to say that they don't take the regular season seriously. I think they do. But they're going to get just better and better. And I think this is a team that now is tailor-made for a playoff run.
I agree. The top line needs to do nothing from this point. I mean, they don't need to improve at all. Mikko Rantanen has had goals in 5 straight games. That's a brand-new personal best for him. McKinnon is still racking up points. Even if he's not scoring a ton of goals, the points are still there. Landeskog is a beast. Game winner on Friday night in his stay-with-it play. Terrific job there. As far as the young defensive core, I mean, you saw Byram. Oh, my goodness. Not only did he play incredibly well in the win on Friday night, he got put on the power play last night, which is also interesting. And, of course, Sammy Girard has 5 points in 6 games now, and he's just kicking some serious butt. So the fact is that I'm not incredibly worried about that. What I do need to see, and hopefully Burakovsky's return will help this, I do need to see the middle 6.
Yeah. What is Brandon
Saad? Way a
Saad?
little bit.
I think Brandon Saad was a -7 so far. That ain't going to cut it.
Saad, Comfer, who got moved up last night, Kadri, Nichushkin, Donskoy.
Yeah.
You need some even strength stuff is what you need. That's what you're looking for.
So the Avs split this weekend. The Nuggets took both games. Look, win's been hard to come by for this team, so now they're 2 games above 500. You'll take it. Now, Vic, I still felt kind of dirty after both of those games, like it should have looked better than it did, but I guess you get the W, you get the W.
And I thought about this the other day. There was nothing the Nuggets do easy, right?
No.
In the playoffs the last 2 years. Look at their playoff wins. Look at their playoff series wins. They've not won a playoff series in over a decade in less than 7 games. Think about that.
Yeah, why is it that it's just like a constant trip to the dentist?
Nothing's easy.
Why
Nothing
is
easy.
It's like,
Nothing.
My tooth got fixed, but damn it.
Nothing is easy.
I was talking to a buddy of mine this weekend, and he's had just a lot of things turn over in his life. He's had a lot of changes, and he's finally settled. He's got a good life right now. He's enjoying himself. And he goes, it almost feels weird because I don't have a lot of stress. And I feel like I need to put something in my life that puts stress on me because I'm not used. It's like the Nuggets are like that. I need to put some sort of difficulty.
Wait. Is he married?
Yes.
Hold on a second. He's married.
Yes.
And he has no stress.
Yes.
Okay, good for him.
That sort of love exists, Moshe. It does. You'll find it one day. You will.
Well, the stress. Let me explain in this regard with the Nuggets, Vic. You tell me. You win a couple of games in overtime that you could have lost, which you win a couple of games, 1 in double, 1 in regular OT.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you go from 10 to 5 in a weekend.
Well, let me show you.
You go from 10th to 5th in a weekend.
I've been monitoring this. There was a point here not too long ago when the Denver Nuggets were the worst team in the Western Conference. Records, they were 1-4. They were dead last in the Western Conference. Today, they stand at number 5. And they did this by virtue of winning 8 of their last 11 games. They've played well the last 2 weeks. It can quickly change in the Western Conference. The other thing that I've looked at, and I told you guys this last week, and I said, keep an eye on this, because I think this is a better indicator of what the Nuggets are, more than record. You know, the Denver Nuggets point differential, scoring differential is plus 4.2, which means they average 116 a game, and they give up an average of 112. That's the average. Do you know that's the 5th best point differential in the entire NBA? Not just the West, the entire NBA. They play close games. That's who they are. They're tailor-made. They're close call. They don't do blowouts.
I like
it's
blowouts.
rare.
I like them, though.
But the Oklahoma City blowout the other day, that's a rare. They don't do it.
I know, but I'm telling you what I like. Brett, I love when the Nuggets bust somebody up. I love when the Avs bust somebody up for a 6-1 win. You know what I mean? I love when the Nuggets 128-93. I love that kind of stuff.
It's not what they do.
I just want a little bit more.
You know what else is nuts?
Just a little bit. That's all I'm asking.
And I know this game went into double overtime, but Jokic had 29 points, 22 boards, 6 assists, and I was like, God, I don't feel like he played that well.
He had an off night. He looked fatigued.
He had a bad night and had 29, 22, and 6.
I don't know if he's got a skin condition, and I'm not going to say anything about it because I don't know his medical situation. But I saw Jokic sitting, in the huddle right during one of the late timeouts, and the backs of his arms, his bicep area, tricep area, right, were so red and welted. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think it's a skin. I think he's just in there getting his. I mean, guys are just wailing on him.
Do you know what was great about that game, by the way, Saturday?
On him.
Finally, what you got, Vic? Jokic got foul calls for like the first time in God knows how long. Yeah. He went from 1 free throw attempt on Friday night to 14 in that game on Saturday night. He got DeAndre Ayton to foul out. Like, he finally started. I was watching Friday like, are they going to call anything when he's below the hoop at all?
That's interesting you say that because I wondered that aloud during the game. I said, I wonder how many opposing centers Joker's gotten in foul trouble this year. He got 8 and fouled out of the game. Frank the Tank had 5 fouls. He was about to foul out. If you go across the league, I wonder how many guys he's done that to. That almost should be a stat.
But it can't be a lot just because he doesn't get the calls. Like, he probably could if they called the game the way that they would for any other superstar.
Think about this, though, too, Brett. He's not a guy that goes to the bucket hard a lot. You get foul calls when you go to the bucket hard and guys have to scramble to defend you. He doesn't do that a lot. In fact, he steps out to take floaters way more than he actually goes to the hole.
When he's underneath the hoop getting offensive rebounds and there's just 15 arms smacking everything around, there's a foul to be called in the middle of that never is.
You're right. I'm thinking foul. I'm thinking and one situations or, hard, I guess, aggressive offensive play. You're right. He's a rebounding machine, too.
How soon do you want to see MPJ back in the starting lineup? So he had that first game.
Now.
The second game, he looked so much better. I totally agree with you. I don't have the patience of Job, I guess. It's time. Now.
Tonight.
Like, you saw it, dude. You saw when he entered the game off the bench, like in that third quarter, the Nuggets are 4 of 18 from the field, like halfway through. And I'm like, would you please, for the love of God, put him in the game? Somebody needs to make a shot. He can make a shot. Just put him in. And they did. And look, did he go off? No, but he got 14 points, 11 boards, grabbing rebounds, giving you opportunities, spreading the floor. Like, everything is just so much more cohesive when he's out there. Everything. Especially when in that game, Barton and Millsap combined for 3 points.
Okay, and here's the thing. Will's not an old guy, okay?
Yeah, but you know what? He's coming off a knee injury where it's going to take time. He's not as explosive.
I know, but
you know how you can tell? He can't finish. I really believe that right now, Will Barton may lead the team in missed layups.
Well, maybe. But Friday night, he was fine, I thought. I thought he had a fine game on Friday night.
He had a great game. He made clutch free throws. Dude, they don't win Friday night without Will Barton at the line. He was clutch.
Then Saturday, he has 1 point. 1 point. And it was on a free throw. He and Millsap combined 1 for 11, and they both played like 20 minutes in the game, and you're like, okay, you know, is there something going on? Do they need to rest? Well, they don't really have, Vic, that luxury right now of just giving him the night off. They really don't.
Who the night off?
Will Barton.
Why not?
Because if you give him and Millsap the back-to-backs off, you're going to be in trouble, man.
Play Hartenstein.
I forgot.
There's guys to play. I disagree with you wholeheartedly.
There's something that we were supposed to do. I said this was going to be a new thing, and I forgot to do it. Typically, we have Francesa count the amount of points for Jokic each game that he plays, but just for fun, can we switch it up? Marty, can you do the Francesa point counter for Will Barton, please?
One.
All right, there you go.
That's cold-blooded, dude. That's cold, man. That's
come on.
Yeah,
I like Will. He's fine, but he's got to play better. We all know this. He's got to play better. Again.
I honestly would not play. Listen, they're going to play a lot of back-to-backs this year. I would strongly consider on the second game of a back-to-back to play them minimally, both Millsap and Barton. Because their bodies just aren't there. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing at all. Hey, let's just kind of roll through here. 30933 is the Schomp Automotive text line if you guys want in. I want to get back to football in just a second, but I don't know if you guys watched it or not. Here's the cool thing about this UFC fight from over the weekend. The finishes were great. McGregor got knocked out for the first time in his career, but Vic, it was a packed house. Like, it was a packed house. It was bizarre watching.
Where did that take place?
Abu Dhabi. So they had it on Fight Island.
Okay.
They had a full capacity crowd for a UFC fight, and hearing the noises and the cheers and all that stuff when big things were happening. It was really cool.
It's going to take some time to readjust to that, isn't it?
It was a shock to the system.
Yeah.
McGregor throws like his huge uppercut, and everybody goes, "Ooh!" The crowd goes nuts. You're like, "Oh yeah, that's what that sounds like."
You know, I watched it after the fact because we were doing Nuggets post game, and I saw him get knocked out. And that man, Poirier, what a delivery! He had a series of shots there. Here's the thing, though: when you have a big name like McGregor, and he is the name, what are the ramifications of a loss? Are there really any? Even
McGregor?
If he loses, well, yeah, because even if he loses, he wins.
No, he was guaranteed $5 million for that fight.
But more than the money, you don't get a rematch.
Oh, sure. Like, they're 1-1 now, and so they can get a third one.
Of course.
And anytime, it doesn't really matter. Like, if he loses 3 times in a row, that'll change. But until that happens, he's going to be the biggest name and the biggest ticket they're going to have.
No doubt.
Who owns the Irish whiskey company?
McGregor, Proper 12?
He does. Yeah.
He owns
his
it.
baby.
Is he going to still do commercials for his whiskey?
Sell the hell out of that
So
whiskey.
then what's the problem with losing?
He had Proper 12 as a sponsor for his own fight.
Right. But I'm going to myself, okay, well, he owns the whiskey company. He's going to put himself on TV. People are still going to buy his booze. I mean, it's not like, oh, he lost, we got to dump this guy as an endorser.
Moj, is there a better living Arthur Shelby than Conor McGregor?
He's pretty close.
Dude, that is the closest thing to Arthur Shelby that exists in this world today. And I know most of you have no idea what the hell we're referencing. Trust me on that.
He's a better speaker than Arthur. That's for sure.
I'll tell you what,
speaker.
I don't know if you guys saw this, his post-fight interview. I think this might have been a byproduct of him getting knocked out for the first time in his career. It was hard to understand him. Like, some words were slurring together. Like, I know he's got the Irish accent and he talks fast to start with.
Before we get to that, you know what I can't get past when I watch these interviews of these guys, both of them? Their ears.
I know.
My eyes quickly fixate on their ears, and all I want is can we get them? Get some ear pads on them or something.
Hold on a second, Vic. I'm going to come to your house after the show.
Their ears.
I'm going to bring Wonder Boy 4, who is still in my possession.
I know why it happens, but I can't stop looking at the ears.
I'm going to bash your ears, and let's just see what happens to your ears.
Well, it
will turn into a piece of
I know why. I know how and why, but I don't even know what their words mean. Nothing to me. I don't even know what they say. I'm just looking at the ears.
Maybe, Brett, more than the actual talking of Conor McGregor after the fight was the video of him trying to get down a hallway with a cane.
Dude.
Because dude...
It's why he lost.
Because dude kicked his leg... I can't imagine getting kicked in the leg repeatedly and busting your leg up like that. Come on, man.
When you watch, like...
What are we doing?
I think about that. Those calf kicks, that Poirier threw out there and a couple of different fighters did in that main card, you look at just the calves and around that outside of the knee area, oh my God, it's like, how would you put any weight on it?
I mean, imagine running into a coffee table with the side of your leg and you're like, mother.
Except 15 times in like 3 minutes.
Wait a minute.
Just keeps kicking it as hard as
If all that happens is kicks to the calves and shots to the face, how do you explain the damn ears? Somebody explain that.
Is it like static electricity messes? I don't know what it is.
Imagine getting knocked out in any other sport and then having the responsibility of doing a post-game interview like 20 minutes after you get knocked out.
Dude, like Mahomes when he got baby deer leg, immediately on the sideline. How do you feel? Hey, we had Benny Fowler on the show earlier. We asked him about this. Look, Stafford is leaving Detroit. That is mutually agreed upon by the team and Matthew Stafford. He is going to be gone. We asked Benny Fowler, what would he do? If he were in charge of the Broncos, would you offer up a 9th overall pick for Matthew Stafford straight up? Here's his response.
Drew Lock has a lot of talent, and he has the arm, but I feel like with the way the Broncos' offense is right now, they have a lot of weapons in Jerry Jeudy, Sutton, KJ Hamler, Tim Patrick, Noah Fant. I mean, these guys are incredible. Why not? Your defense has obviously shown up year in and year out, even since I was playing here. So why not take the opportunity and also still keep Locke, because he can learn from a guy like Stafford. They're both gunslingers. So, yes, if I'm the Broncos, I definitely, he's a veteran guy. He knows how to throw the ball. Him coming to Denver and throwing in this altitude, I mean, it just only enhances his arm. So why not try it?
Well, 3 things here on that response. Number 1, the would you do it? We've been over that today. I think we're all kind of on board. If you could do Stafford for a number 9 overall pick straight up, the answer is yes. You guys agree?
Yes.
Vic?
It's a no-brainer, not even a question. This is the guy.
Second part of it. What do you think about keeping Drew Lock behind Matthew Stafford if that were to happen?
No, it does you no good.
Okay.
At 0, in my opinion, it's going to make Drew Lock upset. Everybody says, "Oh, you need competition." What competition? One guy's going to play.
Competition's over.
Yeah,
Brett,
where's the competition?
Think about this. Either Drew Lock is the guy. Either you think he's the guy or he's not the guy. You don't go from, you were a starter for 5 games, then a starter for an entire season. Now you're going to percolate behind Stafford for as long as he wants to play here.
I agree.
No. If he's the guy, you don't even do a Stafford deal, right? I mean, so if you're asking yourself, is Drew Lock the guy, and you want Matt Stafford, then you're really telling yourself Drew Lock is not the guy.
Not the guy.
End of story.
Hang on. Let me just,
End of story.
I agree with you, Moj. Just to play devil's advocate, Stafford has 2 years left on his deal. Maybe he's here for a couple of years. You see if that works or not. If not, then he percolates behind Stafford, maybe learns from a veteran QB.
Because at that point, his deal will be up too.
Sure. You're right.
No, and you're going to make a blind decision at that point because he's not going to get the necessary playing time to make that decision.
Right.
Nope. It does you 0 good if you were to go get Matt Stafford to keep Drew Lock on this roster. 0.
Okay, third part of this, and this is what I loved about what he said. The why not aspect. Like, really, why not? Because this is what, we were talking about Tampa earlier. And let me clarify, this is not to the Tampa extent, but I do see a similarity in this sense. We looked at Tampa as, remember when Brady first hit free agency? We're like, he's not going to Tampa. Who wants to go to the Bucs? Yeah. And then you looked at that roster, you're like, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Leonard Fournette, O.J.
And
Howard.
you didn't look at the defensive side of that roster.
And
you didn't
look at Sue, JPP, Shaq Barrett,
exactly
Levante
right.
David, and you're like, oh, okay, wait a minute. This has got some talent here.
What did Benny Fowler tell us just an hour ago? He said, don't dismiss the Tampa defense as a big selling point.
He's
to Tom
totally
Brady.
right.
Now,
he's completely right.
Now, my point is, could you make that same argument with Denver? Not to the Tampa extent, but you look at Sutton and Jeudy and KJ Hamler and Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay and Noah Fant and that defense with Justin Simmons and Bryce Callahan. And
I was going to say something. Hold on a second. If you go get Matt Stafford, my tune changes 180 degrees regarding the future of Von Miller. Then you keep Von Miller.
Mm-hmm.
If you land Matt Stafford in the next month,
all right, hero.
If you land Matt Stafford is a Denver Bronco, then all bets are off.
Vic's
I want
100%
all
right.
money to the middle of the
100%.
table. Von Miller stays on the team. That to me is a no-brainer.
Let me ask you a legit question.
Because you're competing,
gentlemen.
Vic. You'd be competing
You're exactly
for the playoffs.
right. And you need all the help you can get.
Let me ask you a legit question. Even if you bring Matt Stafford in to be your quarterback, he's 32, soon to be 33 years of age.
Mm-hmm.
Will you ever win a division title with Matt Stafford as your quarterback?
No. You won't beat the Chiefs in the AFC West, but that doesn't matter.
Who cares?
Playoffs.
Okay. Who cares, man? You just want the juice. Moj, you want the juice. You want juice or not?
You want juice.
Moj, do you like juice?
I love juice.
Moj, would you drink Tang as a kid? That's all I had. I want the real stuff.
Give me a quarterback the Broncos acquire that puts them ahead of the Chiefs. I'll wait.
You don't have one.
See how that goes?
Aaron Rodgers on this team.
No.
Even Aaron Rodgers probably would lose to the Chiefs.
Patrick Mahomes.
There you go. Yes. Mahomes would do it. That's the only guy. That's the only one. But see, that's the point. When people throw that out there, well, he's not going to beat the Chiefs.
All right. Well, then
who will?
Let's be. I'll tell you what. My boy Watson. If my guy got here, I want it so bad.
It ain't happening, Moj.
I know. I just want Deshaun.
The beauty
so bad.
of Stafford is this.
I know they do.
You know what this is?
What is it?
You want a hot girlfriend. Yeah, we all want to date Giselle or we want to date somebody like that. This one's attainable, okay? Maybe it's not supermodel level, but this is an attainable hot girlfriend.
This is Wednesday night at Thirsties. You're making the rounds.
So this
I've made many rounds.
Lindsay Lohan.
This one looks back at you.
No.
This one looks back at you. And you know.
Lindsay Lohan is Johnny Manziel.
Oh, that's cold.
Or Chad Kelly.
Oh, that's
somebody on that text line said, "What if Stafford doesn't want to come here?" Well, this isn't Deshaun Watson with the no trade clause. Deshaun Watson has a no trade in his contract. He can say no. Stafford can't.
Let me tell you something.
That's why I raised that question a little bit earlier. Do you want to come to a division where you've got a built-in division winner already just sitting there, and you know you're probably
Holmes? It doesn't matter what he wants. It matters the deal that Detroit gets. Quit worrying about what Matt Stafford wants. You're worrying about the wrong things. It's not what Matt Stafford wants. It's what deal will enable Detroit to make it happen here. It's the Lions that you need to worry about, not Stafford.
And out of the teams available to trade for Stafford, the Broncos have the best assets, which isn't the case for a guy like Deshaun Watson. Look, if the Colts want Stafford, they have, what pick is it, 21, 22? Like, that's a pretty big dip from number 9.
How about Miami goes, I'll tell you what, we'll give you Tua
they ain't doing it, bro.
Next year's first and a second.
Well, then, yeah, they probably do that, but they're not going to.
And if you're Miami, would you do that for Matt Stafford?
I don't think so. I don't think I would.
Oh, really?
Dude, Miami's got the number 3 overall pick.
Right.
A number 5 overall pick that's a quarterback right now, and another first-round pick at number 18. They're in good shape.
I'm not sure Tua. I'm not sure he's going to be a franchise guy. I'm just not sure of it. Miami was 10-6, and they missed. If they have Matt Stafford on that roster, I guarantee you they're in. I guarantee it. I'd do it.
By the way, the line is out on the Super Bowl. Hell, did you know that by halftime of yesterday's AFC Championship game, halftime, Chiefs hadn't even won the game yet. The line was already out and the Chiefs were favored to win the Super Bowl?
By what? What's the line?
Right now, the Chiefs are favored by 3.5. That's a fair number. I think that's too low, to be honest with you.
Seems about right.
I think it's a little low. I would have put the Chiefs at 7.
They're at home.
They're at home. They're playing in their home field.
22,000 people. They're not the home crowd. Benny just told us an hour ago, don't dismiss how little home field advantage mattered this year. It didn't matter. It did not matter. Big reason why Tampa was able to go on the road and win 3 road playoff games. They won at Washington. They won at New Orleans. They won at Green Bay. The last 2 are considered very tough places to win, and they won.
Got to take a break here. If you guys want in, 303-504-0925. Look, a lot of different things you guys can get to. You want to talk about the Stafford trade, the potential Stafford trade? Would you do it for number 9 overall? Go ahead, give us a call. You want to talk about the football games, the Avs, the Nuggets, all of it's available to you. 303-504-0925. We're back in 3 minutes.
Fans here, but this is an opportunity for the Ducks to get back to the 500 mark. They know they're going to have to play a terrific game against this opponent. That's the challenge.
Hunt was disrupted and went wide, but McKinnon recovers. quickly around the perimeter. It's Landeskog again. Got it right to the goal mouth, just turning and putting it on net. Gibson made an in-close save there. Donskoy having a little bit of trouble with it. It squirts free, and back to the line it's Taves. Across for Samuel Girard, all the way in between the circle, sends it across, and they score! That was easy. Donskoy had a yawning net off the post and in. 1-0 Colorado.
Wide open net, but look at all the bodies in front of Gibson, and he's down on the ice. And almost impossible for him to recover and be able to get across and protect that short side. So it's a finish by Donskoy. What a nice pass by Samuel Girard. That's the other thing about the Avs.
Just wiped out Silverberg in the corner. I don't think Jacob had the puck, but once again, no call. Now a shoveled backhander sticked away by Grubauer. Batted out of midair by Heinen and covered by the Colorado netminder.
Way to the Stanley Cup final. And we're talking about 4 series that you got to win. That's a lot of
hockey. Grubauer with a glorious save on Silverberg. And then Heinen, I don't know how he didn't convert that rebound. It's not tied.
Well, what an incredible stop. Silverberg does everything right, goes to the backhand, but Grubauer also gets a little piece of Heinen on the rebound.
I think that's Byram who ultimately keeps it
it was
out.
Silverberg on his own rebound, and he reached back with the paddle of the goal stick and makes an unbelievable stop.
Got off to a very clunky start as an Av, going -4 in the opener. You mentioned Kadri. He's -4 coming into tonight. There's Getzlaf getting in on the forecheck. Coming late is Lindholm, who scores on a nice feed from Raquel in the corner.
Bounces off a Graves' foot, goes into the corner. Getzlaf right on his hip. And Jones as well. Boy, it's a combination of factors there. Good job, Jones and Getzlaf forced the turnover. Ricard Raquel puts it on the tape and off the toe or the thumb of the glove of Philip Grubauer.
They'll trade places. Terry right on the goal line. Looks off a couple defenders. Back out to Getzlaf. Terry, quick shot, and Grubauer moving to his right makes the save.
Yeah, that was a good read by Grubauer.
It's on top of the shelf as Gibson sends it around, and the Avs regain possession. Final 10 seconds of the power play. Down low and right in front was Calvert, and he couldn't pull it, Nichushkin couldn't pull the trigger as it rolled right through him, where it's kept alive by Makar. Byron dips his shoulder, goes around Getzlaf, comes in front of the backhand, clubbed off by Gibson.
Comes across to him. Here's the fake right here. Boom. And now he attacks the goal crease. John Gibson just stays home. Watch the left hand of Gibson, the catching glove. Keeps it.
Pesters Landeskog, who finally sweeps it out. This would be icing, but Rantanen's going to get an angle and get there first. Mikko Rantanen feeds it out high. Here's Byram again. Well, he looks energized, doesn't he, after that last play? Great pass back to Rantanen, who scores.
What a pass.
Right to the net, and you can see it here.
It's a long-term give and go. It was Rantanen that got it to Byron, and then he goes to the net, gets away from Nick Delorier, and just all-in-one motion.
I want to repeat this in case anybody missed it, because this is incredible. The first thing that's incredible is we have an announcement to give you guys tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But how about this? Tom Brady's made the Super Bowl in 47% of the seasons he's played in. Steph Curry's career three-point percentage is 43%. Tom Brady is more likely to reach the Super Bowl than Steph Curry is to hit a three.
It's bizarre.
It's insane.
I feel like Steph Curry, I know he only shoots 43%, but it feels like he makes every three he takes. That's what it feels like.
So let's go through this exercise, guys. Life on the line. You get one of two things you have to choose to save your life. Tom Brady makes the Super Bowl this year, or Steph Curry hits a three.
Until you gave me that stat, I would say Steph Curry 100% of the time.
And you have to assume this is like a mid-game three contested. It can't be him by himself in warm-ups. This has to be a three during a game setting.
He made 105 in a row. He made 105 in practice. He made 105 in a row.
Well, he's still second all time. He's still chasing. Ray Allen's number one all time. Threes made in the NBA. He just surpassed Reggie Miller. So he's going to be the best three-point shooter ever. But somebody, trust me, the way the game is going, the way the game is played today, it's played outside in. Somebody is going to challenge, if not beat, Steph Curry in three-point shooting at some point.
Who?
I don't think anybody will ever approach Tom Brady's records, his numbers, his success rate.
Okay. As far as the winning, no.
Ever.
Okay.
Ever.
His numbers will get broken. Somebody will break his yardage and his touchdowns
I'm
and stuff
talking
like
about
that, but his winning.
appearances in the bowl, overall rings. I don't think anybody will get there.
You may be correct, Vic, but here's what I'm looking at. A guy has started 3 years in his career. He's gone to 3 AFC title games, won a Super Bowl, has a chance to win another Super Bowl. I mean,
the Chiefs are going to be good for a while.
Don't put that on me. Don't put that evil on me.
They got young players, and they got bread. They got guys secured.
Don't put that evil on me.
Speaking of the Chiefs, Dave wants in to talk about the Chiefs. Go ahead, Dave.
Oh, does he?
He's not on yet. Hi, Dave.
Good morning, guys. Here we sit, you guys debating about the 4-year answer. Doesn't Patrick Mahomes like 15 more? What I'm saying is about 4 years for the Broncos. And what's after Matthew Stafford when he's done? Patrick Mahomes going to be 15 more years, just wreaking havoc on you guys. And I just got to keep on saying to the alien guy, hope the Lions suck forever. And how about same for the Donkey's country?
Get him off. I'm not having some guy come in here and refer to the Broncos. You're not doing that here.
Dave,
if you want to do that in another show, fire. You're not doing that in my town.
Why did you walk in? You walked into my house and you pissed on my floor?
No,
my
you're
floor.
Not doing that. Dave, I can't.
Dave,
I don't like when people do that. Man. I'm not going to tolerate it. You're not going to call the Broncos by that name. And I hear people do it in fun. Yeah. No. It's not the way it works here. Nope.
Not a chance. Not only that, Dave, if you want to bring that, drive to Kansas City and go play tickle fight with all those losers about the football team. You don't need to do that.
Yeah, Dave, I don't do that to you when you ask me debit or credit at Target when you're checking me out.
I got a friend of mine. Who's in the real estate business. And, the Denver market is saturated, right? You try buying a house here. Good luck with that. He goes, yeah, dude, I've been buying a lot in Kansas City. You can get much more house. You can get many more, much more acreage. I go, yeah, dude. Yeah,
looking for square footage there or what?
Yeah. I go, and you have to live in Kansas City.
Yeah, dude.
Knock yourself out.
I'm sure in Minot, North Dakota, you can get a friggin' mansion for $250. Okay,
go do your thing.
But you're in friggin' Minot, bruh.
Make it happen. Go live in Kansas City.
Hey, Kane. You want to go someplace like in Eastern Kentucky?
The dumbest thing I've ever heard.
In the backwoods of Eastern Kentucky, I got a shack to sell you for 30 G's. You're in a shack in Eastern Kentucky. You ain't in Denver. You ain't in God's country. Listen, there's a reason that Denver is God's country, and there's a reason that Kansas City ain't. And believe me, oh my God, I almost said it.
You know what, though?
Let's just say a certain person I used to be related to is from there, so I know the area well.
Hey, I can't begin to imagine. I understand the Super Bowl's 2 weeks from now. How insufferable this is going to be if Mahomes beats Brady for another Super Bowl for 2 in a row. Like, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be awful.
Well, Denver is a town that's become, well, we're not transient, but a lot of people have moved here from a lot of places, including from Kansas
we are a
City.
transplant town. No, we are
not. I'm not transplant, transient.
Well, people don't come here to leave. That's what you're asking.
Correct.
People come here to stay.
That is correct.
Yeah. This is not one of those, hey, let's check it out for 3 or 4 years.
It's exactly right. They come here, they bring their allegiances, and they take off. Yeah. They come here and they stay, and they keep their allegiances. We've seen it happen, obviously, at Ball Arena when everybody's wearing, a lot of people are wearing other teams' jerseys and all that kind of crap. We've seen it at Mile High a lot. I mean, you've got your old standbys in like the Packers and the Raiders and the Steelers.
We saw it in 2005. We saw it with the Steelers and the terrible towels in the AFC Championship game. It's the first time it hit, and it's only going to get worse.
A lot of you see a lot of people wearing their red I mean, these Chiefs fans are becoming insufferable.
I know.
I swear to God, though, if the Broncos land Matt Stafford somehow and some dude shows up wearing a Stafford Lions jersey, enough's enough. I draw the line there.
What do you mean?
I'm just not going to tolerate it.
At least he's supporting the dude that's on your team.
I'm not tolerating Brett Kane showing up with this Lions Stafford jersey. I'm not doing it.
I assume that doesn't exist. The Lions don't actually sell merchandise, right?
That's cold-blooded.
They stopped merchandise after Barry left.
Right.
That's why you see number 20 jerseys all over Detroit still. They don't sell any more of them. Again, the big news of the day, though, the thing that we're going to be keeping an eye on for a while here, that the Lions and Stafford have mutually agreed to part ways. This is happening. He will be traded.
How quickly does this get done, though? I mean, does it get done?
Quick.
It's going to happen before March, before free agency, because they owe him $10 million at the start of free agency.
So this has to happen here in the next month and a half.
Well, remember, Flacco got traded on the 13th of February a couple of years ago.
Correct.
Like, this is just a couple of weeks.
So you're saying after the Super Bowl, Trevor Siemian, Trev, after the Super Bowl, Trev, what happens? That's the question, right? You're telling me it could be that quickly.
I think so. Like, I don't even know if they don't have to wait for the Super Bowl. Those two teams aren't looking to get Matthew Stafford. What would they wait for?
Who the hell's Trev?
Well, Trevor Siemian. So after the Super Bowl, let the games begin.
I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
I didn't get that reference either.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm the only smart one.
Let the games begin.
Thank you, Trev.
But yeah, I think this is going to happen pretty quickly.
Would you trade? Again, there's a lot of speculation on how much Matt Stafford is worth. This is what talk radio is made for, right? And throw out these ideas. And I guarantee the longer this goes on, these sweepstakes, and the more bids are placed, 20 teams will place a bid on Matt Stafford. 20. If you think I'm lying, just wait.
No,
20.
And teams, and the thing about it, Vic, are teams that you don't even think about.
Exactly right. So
I know they're paying Tannehill a bunch of dough, but you know what? Sometimes when you get a guy like Stafford who becomes available and makes GMs do crazy things. The Vegas Raiders, right? Las Vegas Raiders. You think, oh, Derek Carr and Gruden was cool with him this year, and he played. I'm telling you, teams are going to be in that you don't think about.
And you're fooling yourself if you don't think it's going to be a first-round pick in the mix.
Yeah. And by the way, let me say this:
second round. No. Matt Stafford is not going unless he gets a first-round pick in return. And I would do it right now. I would do it. Number 9.
Yep.
Straight up. I would
too.
say yes.
But Vic, there are teams that think that they are closer than the Denver Broncos. They're like the 49ers.
The Niners.
Like the Rams. There are teams. Indy. There are teams, Miami, that went 10-6.
Sure.
There are teams that feel they are close, that Matthew Stafford puts them right in with Buffalo in the mix behind Kansas City.
What's too much?
And you're telling me that you don't think they're going to offer more than just a number 9 overall pick in the damn
number
draft?
9 is not too much. And I know a lot of the people,
No, it is not too much, Brett.
No, I'm saying what is too much. I agree. 9's not. No,
I'm telling you, if you get into a bidding war with the Niners and the Dolphins or something, I'm telling you, there is some team that's going to jump the shark to get Matt Stafford. I'm telling you.
Again,
New Orleans needs a quarterback. These are all teams that are right there.
New Orleans is not they're not in the mix, dude. They're like $1 million, $100,000 million over the salary cap.
Even with Drew Brees retiring, they were paying him what? 40?
Even with Brees retiring, they're still over the salary cap.
Yep.
They're not in the mix.
Again, the question becomes, what is too much? Like Vic, you said number 9, you do it. How about a 1 and a 2?
Well, that's a
Lawrence Welk trade.
Yeah, here's where it gets hard. What do you do with Drew Lock? If you are going to commit to Matt Stafford, and make no bones about it, I don't want to hear this stuff that it's an open competition. If you're getting Matt Stafford, the competition is over.
You trade a first-round pick, it's done.
Yeah, let's not be stupid. I don't want stupid. Don't be stupid on this show. We're stupid enough. I'm stupid enough for you. If you go get Matt Stafford, the competition is over. So you don't need Drew Lock. And I know people are going to say, well, you need a good backup. Well, what good is that going to do Drew Lock to watch?
Right.
Because if Stafford's going to be here a minimum of 2 years left on his deal, that's when Lock's deal comes up. You have 2 guys with their deals come up at the same time? Does you no good.
Yeah, Brett, as our resident expert, before we get to break here, I know that some people are saying, no, I wouldn't do it. Do you think the average person who is a Denver Bronco fan, knows how good Stafford really is. Because he's really good. I mean, he's not Patrick Mahomes good. He's not maybe Aaron Rodgers good. He's the next. He's not Russell Wilson good. He's at the top of that next tier, which is what? Number 6, number 7.
Numbers.
I mean, he's good.
Guys,
good.
Give me the numbers.
The easiest way I can put it to you is this, and this is for the crowd that talks about the wins and stuff like that. Stafford missed 8 games last season. You know what the Lions' record was?
0-8.
0-8.
Yeah.
And they were a borderline playoff team when he was playing before he got hurt.
Use your eyes. Again, if there's ever an example to throw analytics and stats out the window, this is it. Just throw them out the window. Take them, put them in that bowl, and throw it right out the window. Because that guy can play the position. I know that he's never won a playoff game in 12 years. I know this. I know all of this. Watch him play and tell me if he's better than what you got. And if he gives you a better chance to make the playoffs. Damn right he does.
Take a break here. 303-504-0925 if you guys want in. We're back in 3 minutes.
Hi, I'm Dalton Reisner. I'm a hometown kid living out his dream for the hometown team. On the field, I protect the quarterback. Off the field, I partner with Mountain Breeze Heating and Air to protect your home. My buddy James here is a class act, honorable, and trustworthy guy.
Hi, I'm James Morse with Mountain Breeze Heating and Air. We're family owned and operated in Colorado. We believe in offering the best service at the best price with the best warranty in the industry. Visit mountainbreezeheatingandair.com to learn more or schedule a free consultation.
Check it out. Hi, I'm Dalton.
Yeah, anytime it doesn't work out, you always regret it, right? But it was just the circumstances of having 3 shots and coming away with no yards and knowing that you not only need the touchdown, but you'd need the 2-point. So the way I was looking at it was we essentially had 4 timeouts with the 2-minute warning. And, we knew we needed to get a stop. And I thought we were going to have a stop there at the end, but, we got called for the PI and it didn't work out. So I think anytime something doesn't work out, do you regret it? Sure. But we're always going to be process driven here. And the way our defense was battling, the way our defense was playing, we felt like it was the right decision to do. And it just didn't work out.
Cram it up your cram hole, LaFleur.
Cram it up your cram hole, LaFleur.
That is Matt LaFleur, head coach of the Packers.
The way the defense was playing, okay, so you're going to give the ball back to a guy who's on the verge of his 10th Super Bowl. Best quarterback in history, arguably, but right now we'll call him that. And you're just going to give him the ball back.
See, but here's the thing, Moj. It's two-pronged. It's that you're giving the greatest player in NFL history a chance to ice the game by getting a first down. And secondly, you don't have Flacco as your quarterback. You have Aaron bleeping Rodgers. Why wouldn't you bet on your QB to get you 8 yards in that moment? Why wouldn't you do it? And this is a different story. If they're down 6, then I could understand it. But they're down 8.
Aaron Rodgers hinted at this after the game, and here's my biggest issue with that decision. How are the quarterback and the head coach not on the same page there? The quarterback had no idea that the head coach's inclination was to kick a field goal. The quarterback thought he would get another shot on 4th down. That's what he thought. The coach had other ideas. How are you not on the same page? Because maybe if Aaron Rodgers, in the back of his mind, if he knew that he was only going to get 3 shots at this and they were going to kick a field goal, maybe on that 3rd and goal, he runs instead of throws.
Maybe.
Yeah, we're watching.
I don't know what his instincts were. I don't know.
How is that not communicated to him though? How does that not get down to the quarterback who's making the plays? Hey, Aaron, by the way, we're going to kick if we don't get this here. So do what you can.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they aren't on the same page. It makes 0 sense to me. One of the things I was thinking about though, and I think this is interesting, for a quarterback as great as Aaron Rodgers, and we would all agree that he has been, top 3 in the league ever since he got in, right? Like he's been that level of good.
Absolutely.
How has he never gotten the superstar quarterback bump? And what I mean by that is Tom Brady goes to Tampa. He gets Antonio Brown, Leonard Fournette, Gronk. He gets all these guys to come with him. So Peyton Manning comes to Denver.
Nobody wants to play in Green Bay. Nobody wants to play in Green Bay.
But don't you
Nobody wants to play. Nobody wants to play in Green Bay. If you're a wide receiver, you want to. Come on.
If it means playing with Aaron Rodgers,
who's the last huge name that said I want to go to Green Bay?
Brett Favre?
No, Reggie White. Reggie White said I want.
Brett Favre was traded there.
Right from Atlanta.
Reggie White. Right. Reggie White
chose. He chose to go.
Exactly
to Green Bay.
Before Peyton Manning, which is the biggest free agent acquisition in the history of football, Reggie White was the biggest free agent acquisition in the history of football. You're right. And that's a defensive guy.
I get that it's Green Bay, but it's also Rodgers and a chance for a championship and stat padding and all that different stuff that you could do if you're a free agent wide receiver.
You tell me, though. I mean, there have been ample opportunities for guys to go there, and nobody does. You tell me.
I want to focus on Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback, not necessarily talk about Aaron Rodgers, the guy. But he doesn't come across as the most fuzzy-wuzzy guy. Right.
He said former wide receiver, like Greg Jennings has talked about, he didn't necessarily like Aaron Rodgers.
Well, though, guys that play with Brady love Brady. Guys that play with Brady, you saw it. You see it. You feel it. You can sense it. Did you see after the game just how inclusionary he was? Trying to get everybody interviewed?
He told Ronaldo, enough of me, man. Let's get some guys. And they're like, yay!
No, they love him. And here's another question that may sound like sacrilege, but it's a question. Where's Aaron Rodgers' clutch factor?
Oh, he's got a whole bunch, man. I've watched him do it to him. I've watched him do it a lot.
I know. But he has as many NFC championships as Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen him do it a lot to your Lions. Dude, Taysom Hill would do it a lot to your Lions.
He's done it a lot to a lot. I mean, look at the game-winning drives. Like, he's got a ton of them.
Okay, but when it matters the most?
It's a home game, dude. They can't lose that game.
Home game at Lambeau.
He can't lose that game.
You got your limited fans in the stands.
Moj, if I told you that Tom Brady throws 3 picks at Lambeau, who wins that game?
Guaranteed loss, 35 to 17.
No excuses.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers cannot lose that game. None. No excuse.
And by the way, we haven't even talked about
overlooking is the one before half.
Right before halftime, the Scotty Hill touchdown.
What are you doing?
We haven't even talked about that malfunction.
What are you doing?
I mean, how do you not say, guys, go stand on the friggin' goal line?
What are you doing?
What's King doing out there by himself?
What a complete crap show by the coaching staff. 8 seconds left?
Yes, 8 seconds.
Give him the damn field goal.
Is Tom Brady single-handedly keeping small white wide receivers in business? Like, he's a factory for that stuff.
Yeah, but that guy's a little different than the guys he's played with before.
Well, Scotty Miller's fast. Yeah.
He's a burner.
Scotty Miller, yeah.
Edelman's a possession guy. This guy
was
goes.
that. Chris Hogan was that. Welker was that. This guy, he's got some burners on him.
Yeah, but dude, that's still to allow a guy in single coverage, to allow a guy to get behind you like that is. I texted this out. I tweeted it out. I'm like, if you're the Packers, how do you allow that to happen? And somebody said, what do you mean allow it to happen? Tom Brady, man. I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter if you've got 10 Tom Brady's throwing the football. You can't allow a guy to get behind you like that. Yeah. Period. End of story. Every defensive, Wade Phillips is pulling his hair out.
Do you want to know how stupid I am? Brady let that ball go before I could see where he was throwing the ball. I was like, what an idiot. You drained. You weren't going to kick a field goal? You just burned the rest of the clock? Oh, okay. Yep, touchdown. Gotcha.
Wide open. I want to go back to the final decision, though, late in the game and why coaches keep doing this and why it makes no sense. Even Buffalo. I know Buffalo had no chance to win, but why they're kicking field goals in Kansas City. Mm-hmm. I mean, does somebody want to send a memo up north to say field goals? What are field goals going to get you in Kansas City? Moshe, what are field goals going to get you?
A trip back to the bus and the airplane going home.
Exactly right. As soon as you put your foot on the ball in the red zone, that's an L. So the mentality has to be, we are 4-down territory as soon as we cross the 50.
Yep.
All time. That's the way. And if you don't think that way, you're going to lose.
See, you're
going to lose.
This stuff kills me. It just kills me. You're facing in these championship games Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. There is zero excuse to be conservative. If I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose falling on my sword. I'm going to give it every opportunity I can to put pressure on that opposing team. I'm not going to let them win the game themselves.
Brett, that's a good point. And that's why I thought LaFleur's decision at the end of that game was not only disrespectful to his own quarterback, it was disrespectful to the opposing quarterback, assuming that he could stop him.
And I'm with you, Brett. I think it was an excellent point. Because if I'm the coach, I get up, and no matter who it is, I get up after the game, and if we lose, and say, we're in Kansas City. We're playing Patrick Mahomes. Of course I'm going to go for it. I mean, we can lose putting a foot on the ball, or we can lose just going down swinging.
Let's be honest,
what the hell? And I would say, fans, challenge me on that. I dare you.
Buffalo, as much as they're riding high right now with how good of a season they had and how good Josh Allen looks, let's be honest about this. How many more opportunities are you going to get to be back in that position? I'm sure the Packers, when they had Aaron Rodgers winning that Super Bowl 4 years into his starting career, thought they'd be back multiple times.
Dan Marino thought he was going to be back multiple. Dolphin fans did.
The Saints with Drew Brees thought they'd be back over and over again, never got there. Do not get conservative in that moment. Don't.
And help me understand something back to LaFleur's decision at the end of the game. He says, they had all 3 timeouts and they had they had 4 timeouts essentially. So if you go for it on 4th and you don't make it, you give Brady, he has to go 92 yards.
Yeah.
Well, I take that 50 yards, get in field goal position to ice the game. He has to go 50 yards. Why not? Wouldn't you actually have a better chance of winning by giving him the ball at the 8 rather than kicking off to him?
More than that, Vic, I don't even think the yardage matters. It was the clock that was your enemy at that point. So it's just no matter what you do, whether you get the field goal or not, what you watching, Moshe? Whether you get the field goal or not, thank you. Thank you, Marty. Whether you get the field goal or not, here's the point. You have to stop them. If you don't get a touchdown, you have to stop them. So the yardage and the points don't even matter. You have to get the ball back.
Even if you got the ball back, right? How much time were you going to have left to drive down the field for a touchdown?
Mm-hmm. You want to know the difference between Andy Reid and all these other coaches? When Andy Reid has it 4th and 1
with Chad Henne,
with his second string quarterback in the freaking game, he doesn't give it to his defense. No. He doesn't rely on his defense. Screw the defense. You're going to win you're going to take chances. He did what coaches are supposed to be doing in today's game. And at one by one, these coaches are going to get it. I mean, Vic Fangio, how many times did he rely on his defense, right? We're going to win it with defense. It's not the way the game is played anymore. So, I mean, subconsciously, these referees late in games, they'll eat the flag. They'll eat it.
And Fangio doing that also with the team who was 5-11. Like, come on, dude, take a chance. What do you have to lose? Quite literally, what do you have to lose? Got to take a break. 303-504-0925. You guys want in. We're back in 3 minutes. Again, if you guys want in, 30933 is the Champ Automotive text line. And I'm going to be fighting this until some sort of deal is done with Stafford. I mean, all the people coming out saying Stafford's never won anything, constant top 10 draft picks. He's the reason, he's the anchor holding the team back. And here's how I'd put it. And I know it's different sports, guys, and it's hard to compare different sports. But Is Nikola Jokic a problem and a reason why the Nuggets are only 9-7 this year? I mean, come on.
I got your back on this one. Listen, Powder, we don't get along all the time, but on this one, it's a no-brainer. He's the guy. Of all the guys available, very few. If you're looking to upgrade your team, he's the guy. This is not even a question.
And here's the other part of it, too. This is what I think is the separator between me being all in on the Broncos trading for Stafford, maybe people being out. I don't think the Broncos have that many holes in this team. I think if they had a quarterback that could get you 28 touchdowns and 10 picks, you're a playoff team, and then who knows what happens. I think they're that close.
You're close. Okay.
Amen.
So, think about this. Matt Stafford, the Dolphins missed a 10-6. Matt Stafford comes in. 10-6.
That ain't happening again next year, by the way. That never repeats itself. You aren't going to have all 11 win teams in the playoffs again.
Okay. Maybe you're probably right about that, Brett, but I guess we'll find out. I think he certainly gives you the best option, but what does it say what we truly think about Drew Lock? What does it say in our heart of hearts? If we thought he was the guy, we wouldn't be entertaining this conversation.
We would never pose these questions.
No, not
we
at
would
all.
never think about it. Would you ever see yourself posing a question about the future of the quarterback position on your team when you're considering a guy who's never won a playoff game?
Well, the Chargers aren't having this conversation right now.
No, they are not. The Chargers will not be calling for a proposal. The
Bengals aren't having this conversation.
The Bengals are not calling for a proposal. That is, neither are the Browns. Okay, these teams got their guy. But I'll tell you what, if I'm in Houston and Deshaun Watson truly wants out, man, I got to find a guy, or I got to think about getting a guy in. Maybe they'll go the draft route and try to do it that way.
I was going to suggest Houston do a swap with Detroit, but Deshaun wouldn't allow that to happen since he has a no-trade clause.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
You want to get weird? Let's get weird.
Nobody would ever go. Yeah. They wouldn't choose to go to Detroit.
But that's where I think the Broncos are at right now, and they'd be nuts if they aren't making phone calls right now. And yes, I think the number 9 overall pick should be up for grabs. I think a straight swap would be perfect for both teams. I really do.
I said over the weekend.
9 for Stafford.
Yes.
Yeah. I said over the weekend, I said, hey, Peyton, it's your pool. Start splashing in it, man. Do a cannonball. I don't know that you'll ever see quarterbacks of high quality start to free up like this, whether it's their own volition or their team wants them gone. I just don't envision a scenario where you're going to have this many guys and all these names floating around at least.
Hey, by the way, guys, speaking of quarterbacks, I have on very good authority that I think this week or next, I can't remember if it's this week or next, I think it's the following week, the Hall of Fame class is going to be announced. And it's a double class this year because last year's winners did not get induction. Remember that? Because they had to cancel it. So this year you've got a class on top of a class going in.
So what is that, going to be a 48-hour marathon?
Exactly. I've got on good authority that it's a done deal, and this might be the worst kept secret ever. Peyton Manning will indeed make it into the Hall of Fame.
No way, dude. I don't think he's won enough. I don't think there's enough wins there.
And it was the shortest discussion ever. Do you really? Can you imagine being on that Hall of Fame board, having to even discuss that? Don't even waste my time.
If everybody for Elway, raise your hand.
Yeah.
Okay, done. Next.
If I were ever privileged enough to have a Hall of Fame vote, we have a guy on our show, Jeff Legwold, who does. I would be insulted if there was a discussion after Peyton Manning. Mm-hmm. If anybody actually had the nerve to discuss this, I don't know how I'd react.
It should be the same thing, and I think I've told this story before, when Will Ferrell was pitching the idea for Talladega Nights, where he's, Ricky Bobby, he's the race car driver. He said he walked into a production office, this is where you give the pitch for why they should get your movie, and their pitch was this: Will Ferrell is a NASCAR driver.
Yes.
And that's all they had to say, and they're like, okay, cool, I'm in. Same thing should be Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning, there's my pitch.
Yep.
His name.
Hey, Vic, thanks for that big news.
Oh, yeah, huge.
That's just
Marty,
incredible.
we should have the breaking news sounder. In case somebody missed it, can we do it again, please? I would like a breaking news sounder just for Vic to announce this, and it's hard-hitting.
Yeah.
You don't get this information anywhere else in this market.
And I want it broken on Twitter, too, first.
So, Marty, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, Peyton Manning's in the Hall.
Jesus. Dude, you kill me, man. I mean, listen, I'm glad that you got it out.
There you go, Vic.
I have
Vic
it on
with his sources,
and he says,
his insiders.
Hey, Brett, I love how he goes this route. I have it on very good authority from sources.
Mm-hmm.
Like what?
Yeah, Vic, I talked to my dog yesterday. My
the
dog
neighbor's
said Peyton's going to be a Hall of Famer.
The neighbor's dog went,
You know what
really?
they say,
Really,
never report the story unless it's official.
Dude, how could you...
It's
couple
official.
of things here. Listen, this is what I love.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Vic, you're an alum of Notre Dame. You probably don't like the University of Miami very much.
No.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
But I love this. Do you know what Miami did last weekend within an hour of each other? They offered scholarships to Eden James, who's the son of Edgerrin James, to William Roberts, who's the son of Rick Ross, the rapper, and to Mason Taylor, who's the son of Jason Taylor.
Dude, I went to a Rick Ross concert, Super Bowl 48 with Hakeem Nicks and company. It was the greatest thing I've ever experienced. I never saw the stage.
Do you know how smart that is for college schools to do this? Get celebrities, kids on campus, and just have Rick Ross around the program and Jason Taylor and Edgerrin James and all those guys?
Yeah, ask UCLA how it worked out for Snoop Dogg's kid.
Hey, Moshe, who's
I
the
mean, he
rap
transferred.
group?
He went to USC, didn't he?
Yeah, but he wasn't that good. Who's the rap group? Who's the rap group that's been associated with Miami football over the years?
I'm sorry, did you just say, hey, Moj, what's that rap crew?
It's Two Live Crew. I know the damn answer. Two Live Crew.
Who's the guy? The guy that's most... what's his name again?
His name is Lucas... help me. Lucas... Larry... It starts with an L. Hang on.
Yeah, it is an L.
Yeah.
You should know this, Kane. This is your cup of tea here.
I've never claimed to be a rap expert.
It's, what's his name?
Here's the thing, Marty.
Luther Campbell.
Luther
There you
Luther
go.
Campbell.
That's good.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
That's who it is. Luther Campbell.
They haven't been around for 30 years, but again, they were such Miami fans. Dude, he was one of the biggest boosters that university had. He was, in fact, he said, what did he say? If they don't play this guy over this guy, I'm pulling all my dough. Who was it? Damn.
Yeah, keep going, Moj. Let's just sit in this pocket of you wondering who people are. I don't want to go anywhere until we figure out the answers to these questions.
I'm looking at video right now that the Buffalo Bills just distributed of the Bills Mafia welcoming home their team after losing in the AFC title game. It was 15 degrees. It was 3 a.m., and they had all kinds of people at the airport to greet the Bills off the plane.
People? Sober?
Well, I'm looking at this right now. Yeah, it reminded me a lot of the early years of the Broncos. Broncos, same in the 80s, 70s, 80s. I mean, same deal here, dude. Bronco fans would get out to the damn airport even after a loss.
Hey, by the way,
Dude, I'm not going to the airport after a loss.
Yeah.
I'm not going to the airport after a win.
That's
let alone a
ridiculous.
friggin' loss.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. I don't
shout
get
at
it.
guys through a chain link fence from 100 yards away. Hi guys.
Isn't that endearing though? Come on. That's a pretty passionate fan base. That's what makes the Bills Mafia what they
If you
are.
win the championship, then hell yeah. But not if you just got bounced.
Like, didn't
I don't know.
The Browns did that too, right? They had those
Sure.
guys show up, and they had people lining up by the airport. That 3 a.m. in Buffalo doesn't sound like something I'm going to be rooting on my team after a loss. I just like, good season, guys. I'll tweet at you.
I'll be sawing logs about 3 a.m. Sorry, dudes.
30933 is the
Drive
Shump
safe.
Automotive text line. The Nuggets back in action tonight. Pregame at 6 o'clock right here, Altitude Sports Radio 92.5. We're back in 3 minutes. Hey, Vic, Nuggets back at it tonight. Pre-game at 6 o'clock right here, Altitude Sports Radio 92.5. Well, do we
Tonight's
expect
contest.
a change within the Barton MPJ thing, or is MPJ still coming off the bench, you think?
I don't know what to expect tonight. I know the Nuggets are rolling right now, winners of 8 of their last 11, 5-2 on the road. I think they're just better on the road, given the pandemic and what's happening at these. This is the site, by the way, if you remember, this is when the world stopped. It was March 11th of last year. I was at the game, and COVID struck us very quickly, and we heard the rumors of what happened in OKC between the Jazz and the Thunder, and I'm in Dallas, and there are people in the stands, and I see them on their phones. The Nuggets are losing to the Mavs, and all of a sudden, fans start leaving the game. I'm like, what? Where are people going? Because the news came down, and then I interviewed Mark Cuban that night, that the NBA would shut it down, the first league to shut it down, and we've never been the same since.
I still go back to that day, and you have to imagine if you were inside the arena in Oklahoma City and they did that announcement of games canceled, everybody's like trying not to create a panic. Because you don't imagine being a fan and then the game's just canceled and you're like, dude, is there a bomb threat? Like, what the hell's going on?
Doesn't happen. Yeah, it doesn't happen.
Crazy.
Yeah, so anyway, sorry to bring that up, but it's amazing how much has happened since March 11th of last year. Here we are, the Nuggets, number 5 in the standings, when a couple weeks ago they were dead last in the Western Conference. They're making some moves, and Dallas is always a hard matchup. Doncic for them is a tough matchup. Doncic and the Mavs beat them. Remember, Kleba hit that big 3 down the stretch at Ball Arena a couple weeks ago. So it's always a tough game. What?
Hey, Vic, I have a question for you about this matchup with Doncic, because I want you to expand on it before you get too far away. Nikola Jokic has a 11-point higher field goal percentage. He's got a 9% higher free throw percentage. He averages more rebounds per game than Doncic. He averages more assists per game than Doncic. He is less than a point behind in terms of points per game than Doncic, which means Doncic takes, obviously, more shots per game than Nikola Jokic does. Why are people hyper on the Doncic MVP train but not Jokic?
Well, I think you're wrong on this one. I think more people are on Joker right now than they are Luka.
What are the odds to win the NBA MVP right now? Somebody help me.
Well, it depends on who you ask, right? It depends entirely. Human beings make these choices, right? These are media members. And you could say what you want. Media members are going to be biased. Are we going to have this argument now? Are we going to do this whole media bias thing?
It's just when you play right now, he's plus 400 talking about Doncic. Nikola Jokic is plus 1,200. I don't get it. He's a better player. I don't get it.
All right, go to the basketballreference.com. You know how everybody loves their numbers? You know, I use the eye test, but whatever. If you want to use numbers, go to Basketball Reference and look who's leading in the MVP race right now. You'd be surprised. And look at the margin at which he's leading. Take a look.
Okay.
I have no idea where to even find this.
I don't either.
I don't think that exists.
Yeah,
I know you're making stuff up.
I don't think they do the MVP odds.
Yes, they do.
Hey,
Basketball Reference. Go to Basketball Reference. Yes, they do.
Go to dirtydingusmcgee.com and find out who the odds favor.
Want me to do it for you? Yes, they do. They do the MVP. They have MVP tracker, NBA MVP tracker. Here it is.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Nikola Jokic leads all candidates, 42%. Second, Joel Embiid at 16.5. Kawhi Leonard third. Your boy Luka, by the way, is 10th. According to the numbers, these are models, right?
According to the betting public, he's way more popular pick than Jokic.
I'm just uncomfortable, and I don't know what it is about. You're so fascinated by that. Part of me really doesn't care. Let's just win. Winning takes care of a lot of this, right? You seem to care too much about Joker and his MVP status. I'm more let's go. Let's go. All right, they've awoken, right? They're a different team than they were the first 3 weeks of the season. They're a different team now. Let's go. And if you continue to go, everything will take care of itself.
Agreed. Let's start to string some things together here. Let's start to create a little bit of separation. You shot from number 10 in the conference to number 5 in the conference in one weekend. Let's start to to push it up there a little bit. I mean, the Lakers and the dang Clippers are off to wonderful starts. 12-5, 13-4s, that kind of thing. Start to build some wins together. Get to double digits and let's go.
Well, it's the only thing, if you want to talk about this, again, in the context of MVP, the only thing that can really help Jokic, it's not improving his game. He can't really do that. It's winning. If you start to rack up wins, that's going to help.
The Mavericks are 8-8, bro. The Mavericks are a 500 club.
I know. And the narrative needs to change on a lot of things. Like, if you asked a national media member right now, hey, what do you think about Joker's defense? Oh, he's a sieve. He can't play. But we watch every game. We pay attention. We know he leads the team in steals. In fact, of all of those players that I listed there, all of those in the MVP race, do you know that Joker has the second most steals outside of Kawhi Leonard? The second most.
Well, and on top of that, I know you guys hate the analytics part of this, but there's a chart, and I can't remember the Twitter feed that does this, but they send out these charts of total points added offensively and total points saved defensively. Jokic is number one in both categories. Mm-hmm. Saved and added.
I know. Hey, I'm hyped tonight. I get to call the game with Kaz on the radio.
Oh, I'll tune in.
That's going to be fun.
Okay, let's infiltrate. What do we get him to say?
What do you want? I'm unlike Moj, unlike Ma. I give. I don't take. I give.
Text line. You got 2 minutes. Throw out some suggestions. What does Vic need to fit in? Make it a show reference. Make it something specific to us.
Well, how about something like platypus pancake?
What does that have to do with anything? What do we?
Don't be stupid. Don't be an idiot.
Squirrel burrito.
We don't want idiots. What?
Terrible. Take a lap.
Yeah, Moj, I don't even know what you're doing here. How do you not know the game that we play on this show?
You made me say where Terry keeps on top shelf where Terry keeps the burrito.
Yeah, that's a specific show reference. We talk about the burrito shelf all the time.
Hey,
Vic,
it's
part of our deal.
Try and work this in, okay? I says, Ma.
That'd be so good.
That'd be easy.
I will.
That'd be easy.
I will. Oh, that's easy. Are you kidding me? I'll do that in the first quarter.
Please do it.
I says, Ma.
I says, Ma. I got so many ways I could take that. That's
by the way,
challenge me. Don't insult me. You're insulting me right
Vic,
now.
I tried to get you the audio clip from last night. I couldn't do it.
You know what I wanted to hear.
I know there was no editor to be able to clip it off and send it to you because you don't send TV stuff like that through the email. We don't do it that way.
Well, if you guys missed it, and I wish we had the audio, we can't seem to get it anywhere. Peter McNabb at one point was going to be a star on Drunk Takes at the end of the week.
We could still get it by Friday.
Should I say it or should we wait and see if we can get it?
Hold it. It's just too good.
Okay,
Hold
all
it.
right.
Hold it. Hold it until we get it because it's not going to be as good.
We got a couple of things to announce to you guys, and tomorrow is a big one. So stay tuned for tomorrow's. We got some news to bring you about this program, about this station. We'll do that again tomorrow. But last thought on the Nuggets tonight, Vic. 2 wins in a row from over the weekend. It took 3 overtimes to do it. You're facing a tough Dallas team. Yep. You're 9-7. 10-7 would feel great. 9-8 would be like, okay, here we go again. Back on this yo-yo.
I don't want to be defeatist. You took 2 in Phoenix. It's a 5-game trip. You win 3 out of 5. I'm fine. Now, if I'm going to be greedy, I want all 5, obviously. But I'm telling you where I stand.
Why does Nikola Jokic have such beat-up arms? Poor guy looks like he's been hit with Wonder Boy 1,000 times in the back of his arms. I don't get it. Just destroyed out there.
By the way, one of the things I was impressed by this weekend, DeAndre Ayton can play.
He has improved a lot.
He can play.
His footwork, and the way he guarded Joker one-on-one, very impressive.
And I saw him knock down a couple of threes. I was like, what the hell is this? What's going on here?
Very good point here as we wrap up the show. As long as Vic doesn't drop a quote, "Kiss me on Sunday," I don't care what he says.
Here's a few coming in on the text line. Meatball or steak, too easy. Let's see. There's one. Vic should say shooty shot or shooty shoot. Now, I don't want to steal from the artiste, Mark Moser. I'm not doing that. Step back, Jacob Bloom. Again, too easy. That'll come in. That's an easy reference.
Can you ask Kaz when's the last time his mom made tacos?
I can do that. I can do that.
So we had 2 things. When's the last time your mom made tacos, and what's the other one?
I says, Ma.
I'll go with
listen to the program tonight. The game, 6 o'clock pregame, right here, Altitude Sports Radio 92.5. Nuggets and Mavs. That's going to do it for us. We'll talk to you. Well, wait a minute. I guess we got a fact checker, don't we? Fact checker, Marty.
Marty monitors the mistakes in today's Fact Checker.
Oh, yeah, no, I knew that.
Presented by Ken's Auto Service. For all your auto repairs and vehicle maintenance needs. More info at kensautoserviceinc.com.
Now, I call this you guys trying to figure something out without Googling it for no reason. Here we go.
Hey, Moshe, who's the rap group? Who's the rap group that's been associated with Miami football over the years? Who's the guy? The guy that's most... what's his name?
His name is Lucas... help me. Lucas... Larry... It starts with an L. Hang on.
Yeah, it is an L.
Yeah.
You should know this, Kane. This is your cup of tea here.
I've never claimed
Lawrence,
to be a rap expert.
It's, what's his name?
Here's the thing, Marty.
Luther Campbell.
Slippy
thanks
slaps.
for that.
Samsonite. That's the Samsonite.
30 seconds we'll never get back. Thank you.
Yeah, but in the clutch, look who came up with it. I am the rap guy.
I said 2 Live Crew, Jack.
That's going to do it for us
Boy,
now.
I tell you what, you think Cardi B's got some words. Don't ever look up the words to a 2 Live Crew song. Help me.
Tomorrow we'll have you quote some of the lyrics. How's that?
Big announcement tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. We'll bring
Big
it to
one,
you then.
big one.
Harris Hastings and Dover next.